What is going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the Saturday Shenanigans, hosted by yours truly, the Renegade J.J. Williams. What is going on, everybody? Good to see you back for a more traditional episode of the Shenanigans. No karaoke tonight, no singing, but alas, we do have quite a few of the usual suspects here to join us tonight. First and foremost, Mr. Reliable. You can always count on him. The Rage of Wrestling. Walter Cruz is in the house. What is up, Walter?
Nothing much. Glad to be back, but good to be back to normal. It felt weird this last couple of weeks, so I'm glad we're getting slowly but surely back on the track.
Right. Next up, we're going to bring in the Heb Man, James Hebert. What's going
Hello.
on, James? Good to see you.
Good to see you. I have tried to get a hold of Noah, and I think he is fast asleep. I just tried to call him. No answer. he is out like a light, I tell you. So
Well, that is definitely a bummer, as we did have a surprise setup. As this past Wednesday, I appeared on the ATW View Impromptu with him and Keen A Train, giving my thoughts on All In. Ladies and gentlemen, the Keen is here.
Jesus.
Say his name and he appears. We believe in Keen A Train.
Well, we do believe in that, regardless of his hatred of Joe Hendry. So there is that. What's up? What's up, King? Shit, we're without our boy.
Well, he's gonna miss this. Apparently, JJ hit me up in the DMs on Twitter. Was like after I sent him the link of what we was talking about the Tony Storm and Mariah May match, and JJ broke it down and he sent us the link. This was a surprise to get, just to be like, I'm here.
Yeah, well, it's a surprise for everybody but Noah. Apparently, he gone Betty Bites.
Well, we all know Noah. One of two things is either going to happen. Either he's going to wake up in like 10 minutes, be like, shit, I fell asleep. I'll be right there.
Yeah, right.
Or he'll just watch it back later.
Probably one of the two. We'll see what happens. Well,
but yeah, like I broke down the whole All About Eve thing with Keen and Noah on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then he sent me a thing today about how the BBC News in England has even reported about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, do you wanna come and join us tonight? The first thing we're gonna talk about is All In and the signing of Ricochet.
Amen.
Knowing what an AEW fan Keen is, and he was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's do this.
Let's go.
So before we get into the All In stuff, there's probably a very heavy possibility that in the Casino Gauntlet, Ricochet will make his debut. What are everybody's thoughts on the report that Fightful put out? And everyone kind of knows how we feel around here about Fightful. We don't really trust the news sites unless we get a press release till we see that Ricochet or Prince Puma is All Elite graphic, whatever he's going to go by there. But if this is in fact true and Ricochet is signed with AEW, what is everybody's thoughts on this, first and foremost? Kane, you're the guest here. We'll start with you.
Honestly, you guys, I thought he was going to do at least New Japan to start out with, because of that's where we originally knew him from, and plus, heck, many people inspired to be just like Ricochet.
Yeah.
So when I heard the news that from Fightful saying that Ricochet has signed a multi-year deal with AEW, I was like, I'm not surprised here. I mean, as much as Triple H put in forth with Ricochet, especially in NXT, I thought he was going to do well on the main roster, but I was proven wrong. So him and AEW, there's a list of multitude of matches you can run through that whole roster. Even some ones getting called back to New Japan or PWG days or whatnot.
Yep.
The fact to see this once more in AEW like soil, and plus the partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling, CMLL, possibly Rev Pro, and then I mean, like you could do an endless amount of matches there with the Forbidden Door concept. So it's a very good signing. And there was like it would, and when Tony announced the Casino Gauntlet match, I automatically knew right then and there that yeah, you don't make this match out of nowhere, especially on your biggest show of the year, and you saying that you're gonna put top names in that list in that battle royal, which we don't know in the gauntlet of how many people are gonna be in there.
Right.
So if Ricochet is in London, I expect them to see him in the Casino Gauntlet match. It's a very good signing, like regardless.
No, I agree with that.
Go ahead, James. You can piggyback off of King.
What I'm surprised about is that they're not gonna do a singles match between Ricochet and Pac. Like Pac wanted an all-in moment, and he said, they wanted to deny me, so I'm not gonna stand for this. I'm issuing an open challenge at Wembley, and whoever wants to accept, anybody can accept. I will take the challenge on, and then that's when Ricochet comes out. I really thought they were gonna save it as a surprise, personally, but maybe they figured, well, if we announce Ricochet fresh off of WWE, maybe we'll get some last-minute ticket sales. That's the only reason I can think of as to why they wanted to go that route. But hey, Ricochet's in AEW. It can't be any worse than what he was doing on WWE when he was challenging for the Speed title.
Ugh.
So that was a
Well, I mean, he was the inaugural champion, so it's not a horrible thing.
It's not a horrible thing.
I mean, would you rather be the inaugural Speed champion or whatever our truth is, like a 57-time 24/7 champion?
Oh man, that's a good point. Well, okay, so
I think I'd rather be the inaugural Speed champion personally, because I lost that 24/7 title 57 times too.
See, the thing is though, our truth made it funny though, but that's our truth, and it's not Ricochet. So there is that. I don't know. I guess for cool factor, and because the belt looks cool, the Speed champion, then probably. The belt does look kind of sick. I'll give him that. Although it does look like a over the limit logo, kind of. Anybody remember that pay-per-view? No,
I do.
I do.
I try to forget it because I always felt that Over the Limit was their kind of attempt at trying to bring back Over the Edge. You know, the inaugural Over the Limit even had Edge on the pay-per-view poster.
Or Great Balls of Fire in 2017 when I went in Dallas.
Oh my god!
Oh no! Don't say that! Don't say that PLE name, please. Oh god, I'm trying to forget that.
Oh Jesus Christ! I forgot that was a name. I wanted to keep it forgotten. No.
The only good thing was the Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe. That's about it.
Oh yeah, because they have balls for sure. They were on fire, apparently. Sources say. I don't know. Maybe Fightful or Observer reported it. So we'll see. No, I'm happy for Ricochet. I'm just shocked that they did it as how they did it, and they just announced it and put the graphic up. Then again, I get, probably the whole thing. I really am shocked, like King, that he didn't go to New Japan first, but they figured he probably didn't need to do that, considering he's got tailor-made feuds ready with Ospreay, with MJF, with Kenny Omega when he gets healthy, with Okada. Like, there is a lot of people there that you could absolutely do. Hell, Hologram is a person. They're trying to build him up. That would be a great way to get a win, kind of do what they're doing with Andrade and Carmelo, kind of do that with Hologram and Ricochet, have a little best of 7 series with those two.
That'll be the day I get a flag and write sickos on it and put it on the TV.
I was just going to say, how is Hologram? Because I've not seen a single episode of Collision. Is he any good?
Okay. The way how I break it down is like this. You got Brett in Calgary.
Yeah.
You get your Punk in Chicago. You get your Piper in Portland. He's that good. You could make a Hologram in Texas. He is that good.
Is he really that good?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I'm curious now. I was not gonna check out a thing because I thought the look looked hokey, but now I'm like,
The
you're
look
saying
is
that.
Toki.
I
The
don't know.
look is Toki, James. I get that, bro. But man, the way how he wrestles, it makes you forget about that within a quick snap.
Huh. Okay. Okay.
Is it the whole gimmick trying to figure out who he is under the mask is like an ongoing joke now?
I remember they was trying to figure out. I mean, I knew I fell victim when I thought it was Ricochet at first when they first teased it because he's like hopping over the portal, WWE, AEW type portal. I thought it was Ricochet.
Wait. That's
Listen.
hologram. That was a
No,
vignette for
that's
him?
not. No, that's not hologram. It's Artemis Jr. from I think CMLL, I believe CMLL or AAA, either one of the two. Artemis.
God, they have a lot of people that have holograms and teleporters, and they're gonna have Ricochet, who's a cat. Jesus Christ, a lot of shit going on here. A lot of fucking crazy ass shit. I don't know what's going on, man. But yeah, happy for Ricochet. Deviation aside. I do want to see him in hologram if hologram is that good, like King says. I'll take his word for it.
Well, I guess I'll go. I'm just hoping Ricochet gets on Dynamite and not be exclusive to Collision because it's like I really don't. Since CM Punk got fired, I admit it. The only time I've ever watched Collision is when we had to do a watch along for it. So
Yeah.
I won't see Ricochet if he doesn't do it. Prince Puma. I don't know if WWE owns the name Ricochet, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, he owns his own name. Ricochet owns his own trademark name.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, he's owned that. He's owned that for years now. That's been owned. Thank God.
Yeah, exactly. I would part of me would prefer that he came out in the Casino Gauntlet as a surprise and they never announced that he signed. But I do get it. Like James said, it probably was a desperate attempt to get like last minute ticket sales. So I mean, maybe there's more surprises to come. But the only negative is like it starts to make me think: how much longer do we have Samantha Irving in WWE? Is she gonna follow? Like that's my only issue with it. I'm a little worried about that because we got so cool with her announcing style and everything. And if she goes to AEW, even though she's a non-wrestler, that's a blow to WWE, man. Because it's to the point that everybody's starting to mimic. It's getting bad. People are starting to mock and change their style to try to sound like Samantha Irvin. It's like she started her own trend. And I'm a little worried if we lose her.
You can't
duplicate Samantha. You can't do that. There's only one Samantha. She's darn good at her job.
Yeah.
Tell that to Alicia Taylor on SmackDown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like the only one that's not copying her is the TNA lady. She isn't.
Yep.
She's the only one who kept herself. Yeah.
Jade Chung. Yep.
Yeah. Jade Chung. There you go. Yeah, I like Jade. She's good. Yeah, just do your own thing if you're gonna announce for sure. I will say this: I'm worried that if we get Ricochet and Samantha Irving as a duo, they're gonna do some crazy ass shit. That's my only worry. That little tease on Instagram where Ricochet shows Samantha Irving's badonk and he's just smiling and be like, "Hey, look what I'm with." Like
Buddy Matthew, he pretty much did the same thing as Buddy Matthew. But one thing I do want to see, because I want to see this match because I got to see who's going to do the most ridiculous shit. But I got to see Darby Allin versus Ricochet because, it's going to be some crazy stuff going. That's a pay-per-view worthy match. I don't care what anybody tells me. That's
one's a tumbleweed and one's a ragdoll. So, I mean, that's bound to go crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm kind of conflicted about everything because like when I first heard it, I kind of felt the way you guys did. Is like, why are we announcing this now? Why not leave it as a surprise for the Casino Gauntlet,
Yeah.
But then I also look at the business side of things and it's like, how much is TK paying for Ricochet? Is it going to pay off in the long run?
Yeah, that's true. Probably the fourth big signing, yeah.
And I think about how Odyssey Jones's debut on Raw has got more social media views than Okada, Ospreay, and Mercedes.
Yep.
And granted, one's the WWE giant, one's, the little engine that could, proverbially, but AEW is not even really the little engine that could anymore. They're a viable number 2.
Right.
They're not as big as WCW was when they were number 2 anymore, I feel.
Yeah.
Depending on who you talk to, there may be WCW 2099. I don't know if I'd go that far to insult them.
Yeah.
But whether you look at them as WCW pre-Hogan or WCW in 99 2000, they're still not, WCW during the 96 97 NWO Sting,
Yeah.
Rise of Goldberg, when they were killing it those 83 weeks.
Well, I mean,
and
yeah,
I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but Vince Russo and Dr. Chris Featherstone released a video today where they were kind of talking about the Ricochet situation. I watched the whole video, went back and I clipped like 5 minutes of it, 6 minutes of it that I want to play here, because I think between the two of them, they make some really good points, not just about AEW, but pro wrestling overall.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to run this real quick and we'll come back and get, people's thoughts on their take here, because I do think it's very, very relevant if you want to look at things from the business side of things.
I'm reading this and I'm like, this money that Taekwon spends, like, does he like? I have to ask this question.
Oh, Tony Khan, Taekwon.
Do you think Taekwon considers, like, is Ricochet gonna put one more butt in a seat, or is he gonna sell one more ticket? But Chris, let me ask you this honestly. Do you think he even asks himself that question, or he's such a mark for the guy that he basically just says, okay, bro, tell me what you want and I'll send the contract over?
I think he's just a mark for the fans that he knows that Ricochet and Ospreay is going to be a 5-star match. I really think that Tony Khan pays the big bucks to get 5-star matches.
But at what point do you start looking at dollars and cents? I don't care how much money you have. At what point do you really start looking at, okay, bro, I'm going to pay Ricochet X amount of dollars, and how am I going to make that money back? Doesn't matter. Wow, bro. I don't know how you do business like that. I just don't, man. I just don't.
Clearly, the business model was thrown out the door, because if you think this was the go home show to All Out as of this recording, couldn't even crack 700. Like, this is, and they were down from last week, going to the go home show of their WrestleMania, of a stadium show. And year to year, from 2 years ago, they've lost 350,000 viewers year to year from 2 years ago.
Because it was a tape show.
I was listening to a clip yesterday of him. He was on with Meltzer, and it was castrating the marks. He was on with Meltzer, and it was recent, bro, just about a week ago. He was blaming the low AEW rating on the lead-in. Chris, I got to ask you, and I want to throw this out to a sports kid in Nation as well. Seriously, if you had more money than you could count, like you can't even count how much money you have. If you had more money than you could count, do you think you'd be wasteful with that money?
Absolutely not. No.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because if I became the owner of NBA franchise, I'm a Bulls fan, for instance, or I'm a Titans fan, right? Right. If I bought the Tennessee Titans, there's absolutely no way that I would be content with mediocre years. I would absolutely obliterate management if they're not giving me productivity year to year as far as records are concerned. If they're not giving me, if I'm looking at Gates and I'm seeing a dwindling in sales because we're not doing good as a team, there's absolutely no way that I'm going to keep the coach there. I would rather buy out your contracts to get a better coach, to get a better record, to have more people come to my events, to hike up the prices because they're going to come because we're doing really good. So that's just a business model that just comes with making money by owning a franchise. I mean, there's no way in the world that I would.
Chris, that is a great point that you bring up, because I got to tell you, man, and this has been going on for decades, man. This has been going on, way before I got in the business. To me, bro, the one thing that separates the wrestling business than any other company. I don't care if you're a sports franchise. I don't care if you're a computer company. I don't care if you're an online company. I don't care. I swear to God, bro, for as long as I can remember, bro, there's never been accountability in wrestling. Never. Bro, when Vince gave me that spot as the head writer, Chris, I knew darn well, if I don't deliver, not only am I going to be fired, he needs to fire me.
Sure.
If I don't deliver Vince McMahon ratings, he needs to fire me. Absolutely. Bro, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go as far as to say, if we were doing crappy numbers, I would have told him to fire me.
Yeah.
That is the problem with wrestling, man. No one is ever held accountable. These guys have these jobs for decades and decades and decades and decades, no matter if they produce or not. Bro, I did a show today. I did a free show on YouTube today, bro, because, you and I are always looking at the Judgment Day. And I'm talking about, bro, let's look at 4 misses. Let's look at 4 misses and let's make them the Judgment Day. Bro, they missed on EC3. They missed on Elias. They missed on Karrion Kross. And they missed on Baron Corbin. They missed on those 4 guys. And look at the 4 guys that are in Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Now, how do you miss on those 4 guys and still have a job like there's no problem? I mean, you know football, bro. If any franchise that trades away 4 rookies, and all of a sudden these rookies are Bryce Harper and Aaron Judge, somebody's gonna pay for that, bro. Bro, not in wrestling. No matter what you do, you're not gonna lose your job.
Okay.
The fact that Dynamite was taped notwithstanding, because you did pop in there for that, James, and that was a decent point. But even when SmackDown is taped from these overseas, they don't have as big of a drop as AEW did. But even that aside, the biggest take that I have here coming out of this is Ricochet going to put more butts in seats? We see how they're struggling to sell arenas. Debut notwithstanding, is Ricochet going to be a name that continuously puts asses in seats? How are we going to flip a profit off of a guy like Ricochet? And at what point do we start holding all bookers, all promoters, not just Tony Khan, accountable for their mistakes? Russo makes a great point about the guys that WWE failed horribly on that could have very easily been in the Judgment Day. And look at how Balor, Priest, Dom, JD are all doing, having had that build.
Yep.
Kane, I'll go to you first. Again, you're the guest here. What are your thoughts, your takeaways from that?
Is Ricochet going to be a draw? I wouldn't say a big time draw. I mean, yeah, us, like there's your hardcore indie fans, hardcore NJPW fans that know Ricochet, and then Lucha Underground fans as Prince Puma, they all know who Ricochet is. Of course, that's going to invest them even more, but it's just like, with the way how it is in AEW and the way how its main event division is, and then plus you got the mid card, I mean, it's a better situation for Ricochet at this rate. But is it going to draw? I don't think so. At least in my opinion. Because as far as like business aspect of things, it's like AEW gets criticism on that too, just like everybody else. But when it comes to AEW and how they promote like business, they always like struggle with ticket sales. Always trying to manage to find the right price.
Yeah,
and it's like that's part of a problem and why they don't be selling well as they should be. But Ricochet being a draw, I like the guy, I respect him, but no, at least I don't think so.
I mean, I think whenever Tony Khan books and gives people the Osprey Ricochet match that everybody wants to see again, that'll draw. That'll put asses in seats.
yep.
Mhm.
But aside from that match, maybe that program, then what?
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what I'm fearful of.
That's the one thing that concerns me about all of the people that Tony signs, whether they're New Japan crossovers that get all elite contracts or they're ex-WWE people. You've got so many people on that roster, half of whom don't get used once a month, let alone weekly. 25% of those maybe get an ROH gig every now and again. But like you see the same people on Dynamite that you see on Rampage, that you see on Collision. And it just, I don't know if this is a good move financially. There's going to be some great matches to come out of it. But again, what happens after you run those? Ricochet versus Darby, like you guys mentioned, that should be a banner. Ricochet versus Scapegoat Jack should be a banner. You want to give Ricochet versus matches against Dante or Darius Martin from Top Flight. Banners. Even if you want to give them singles matches against each of the Young Bucks, as much as I can stand those a-holes. Banners. But then what?
There needs to be more concerted effort to bring in people that can write long-term stories.
Like RJ City with the whole Tony Mariah thing.
Exactly. Yes. And like
I have said from jump that is the greatest story AEW's ever told.
I'll still, as good as it is, I'm still probably, it's definitely top 3 for me. I would probably still put Adam Cole MJF up until the end. Actually, no.
That's the thing is the ending killed it.
The ending
killed. Yeah, never mind.
It's like Rock Austin 2 at WrestleMania 17. It was a great match until the
Stone Cold turned heel.
Yeah. And then, but I will say the thing that will always edge it out for me, because we didn't know there was supposed to be a conclusion. Hardcore fans know that, but I'm still going to put Punk MJF as the greatest feud AEW's ever told. It is so damn good. To this day.
Keyword though, James, is I didn't say feud, I said story.
Story.
Right. Story.
There is a difference between a feud and a story. Tony Mariah is the greatest story they have told, at least during my time watching it.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I'm not a day zero guy. I've been watching for maybe the last 2 years.
Okay, I got one for you then. Even though you haven't watched it, but I'll mention this. still edges this one out. This actually still makes the top 3, but this edges it out. Kenny Hangman. It's literally the first Lawn Torn story they ever told because they
Yep, and it was the Hangman era. Year one was the Hangman era of how we was going to get Hangman to the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
So everything from Kenny Hangman was the story of AEW to me, and you know,
And
we
would you
saw how
say
that.
the conclusion of that was Hangman winning the title?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Even though I wasn't watching full time then, I did have my toes in and out of the water because my roommates at the time were watching AEW.
Yeah.
CM Punk drama bullshit to the side. I still consider Hangman the worst AEW champion they've had.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
At
again, you look at the after effect of the story. Did it really live up to the story? Did it really pay off?
I think
that's my only counterpoint argument for those of you that watched the whole thing unfold. Like, if he's going down as the worst champion in their history,
I say the story still edges out Mariah and Tony, and I say that because it wasn't necessarily the title reign. It was a chase to the championship. It was the chase to beating Omega specifically. Once he beat Omega, the story concluded. That's my argument for that. If we're talking everything leading up to that point, I would say you're on point. But the thing is, that story concluded the minute he won that belt. So,
see, and I don't feel like a story should conclude. Then it should start the next chapter of the story.
Well, it did, and the next chapter sucked. That's my thing.
Chapter 2 of the title, right? Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah.
What's up, Walter? I see your hand up.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with JJ. I think the Timeless Tony is the greatest story, and the fact that I already put my prediction video out here, so I can say it. The fact that it's not going to end, it's going to be a new chapter, because I feel like Tony's going to go away, and it's going to be a new evolution in her character after she loses the title. So I think it's one of those where the story keeps going, and it's the great, like, it's at least, if people are going to argue it's not the greatest story, it's at least the greatest woman's story in the history of AEW.
Yes,
because it elevated the hell out of that title too.
And
definitely better than Mercedes and Britt.
Like I said during the prediction show with Keen and Noah, anyone that's seen All About Eve, and again, cheap plug, you can watch my review of it ahead of All In tomorrow. The movie in a nutshell is a girl who idolizes this actress, gets taken backstage to meet her, ends up becoming close to her, moving in to taking over kind of her life. The maid kind of starts to suspect her. Here we got the butler, Luther. She gets the opportunity to have a star-making performance, Owen Hart tournament. She wins the awards. She gets the career she always wanted. She goes home and she finds a fan of hers passed out, having gotten into her house waiting to meet her, much like she did her idol. So once Mariah wins, if we go to Dynamite on Wednesday and she goes into the dressing room and there's a random girl in there, that's what I'm waiting to see, is how we go into the next evolution of this story. And I told Noah and A-Train, that's how I would have debuted Camille. Yep. I would have had her be that person. She'd been sitting in the benches long enough. You could have had her be that person. You could use a somewhat repackaged Anna Jay with her Japan stuff she's been doing lately. Mariah came from Japan to AEW. Yep. Anna Jay kind of followed suit, went to Japan, did this tournament, comes back to AEW.
You can think Mina Shirakawa for that one.
I don't know if I'd put Mina in that spot just because, Mariah was under Mina's wing in Japan, so it wouldn't make sense for Mina to be the fan of Mariah's now.
No, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the whole
Oh.
Anna J with the whole Anna J Mina Shirakawa with Mina
okay.
when she
Yeah, it was
ROH.
Mina who introduced her to the idea of it.
Yep.
That could work. That could work. Anything to give me more Mina. We want Mina, damn it.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I feel like the deviation is going to be, it's not necessarily going to be a fan, but it's going to be the person who she stuck by, and it's going to be Rose Gold in AEW in some form. Maybe Anna joins that. And they, she turns on Tony, and it's been like one long con by both of them. I could see them going that route for sure. Kind of taking a little bit of a deviation and then kind of, bringing in the random person afterwards in Anna J or whoever it is.
Ty Mello's almost ready to come back also.
And Tony and TK might want to do Ty J again.
Yeah, but that's if they're rumored AEW Women's Tag Team titles are coming, which I hope to God they don't.
Don't bring
There's
it up
not enough
I don't want to see
teams.
that. I do not
They
want
have
to see
25 titles already. Leave the concept of bringing new titles alone.
Yeah, we got to remember this is Tony Khan. This is also AEW locker room. But we shouldn't talk about anything negative, guys. We shouldn't talk about anything negative, or else Dax Harwood might get mad on social media. Anybody see
Hi,
that
guys.
shit?
Hi, guys.
It's at this point, I'm surprised there isn't a backstage drama championship. That's what AEW is.
Dude, let's be real though. If there was, I mean,
Sammy Guevara would be the champion.
I don't know, man. Punk might edge him out a little bit.
Punk's not with the company no more. How can he be the champion?
Hey, he still has the Real World's title somewhere, I'm sure, in the refrigerator.
Right.
Call back.
I'm just saying, bro. I will say, I will say. This is fantasy booking, but if somehow this has all been like, I'm still wondering if some fuckery is afoot somewhere. If Punk comes out at the end just face to face with Punk with the Real World title, I will actually lose my shit, because that would be like, what a callback to 2011 that is if that happens, right? And then all of a sudden you see Drew come out of nowhere in Wembley and fucking Claymore kick him, like and then all of a sudden we just get some big ass Donnybrook in the fucking Wembley arena. That would be dope, but depends on if Shane's signed.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but that would be cool. That's just me fantasy booking for.
I don't know about
a healthier fucking industry. I'm just saying.
I don't know about Shane being signed. If he was a surprise in the Casino Gauntlet match, he'll probably tear his quad just doing the little dance at the beginning of his entrance.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I ain't talking about him tearing his quad. I'm just talking about
the $1 million question, though. If Shane were to debut tomorrow, the $1 million question, though, is, and I'm gonna throw this again to A-Train. Does he retap Naughty by Nature for a new song?
He's gonna have to, but from what I heard on the countdown on the All In, Mercedes saying she has some plans laid out for Wembley for Britt. Take that for what you will.
I mean, I know he can't use the "Here Comes the Money," but damn it, I need another Naughty by Nature banner in 2024.
I was about to say.
I mean, he can always hit up, because he's got Mercedes. He can always hit up Snoop to make some song for him.
Nah. Snoop style is too laid back. It wouldn't fit Shane O'Mac.
Snoop's probably wrestling that 9.6 million he made over there in Paris this year. So
I mean, to be fair, it actually should be Snoop Dogg, because Shane's kind of laid back and he can't really wrestle anymore because he'll tear something. So maybe a Snoop Dogg ain't a bad shot.
Hey, but it's just that Shane O'Mac shuffle, boy.
I was just saying, Snoop, hey, it was like. Hey, he's like, Snoop probably like looked at Shane. He's like, if you go to that other place, you owe me, motherfucker. I saved your ass at that WrestleMania show. I thought on my feet.
He sure did. But back to the Russo thing. He's I don't know. I don't know if Ricochet's got a cult following, but it kind of depends on how they book him, whether he's gonna be put some butts in the seat. They book him to make him look like this big time person, then even though he's a smaller wrestler, booking people can get behind he'll develop more of a following, and people will do it. I certainly tell you that's what he thought about Mercedes. And look, I don't think she's put much butts in anybody's seat. All she's done is put her foot in her mouth. Is really what I think. And then
Yeah,
she started coming out trying to be the greatest women's wrestler or whatever. It's like I got tired of her to the point where I started screaming BOO, and that caught on with us. Like it got bad. And
I'm gonna.
Bruce, I really don't want to go down this rabbit hole with Mercedes.
Yeah,
But
he's a fan
she's
of hers,
gotten
by
to
the
the
way.
point where people change the channel instead of cheer for
Mhm.
her.
Well, I mean, that's just the
She's
effect of the elite.
she's become the Young Bucks, and
To be
people change the
yeah.
channel away from her segments and come back like 5 minutes later.
Yep.
The
But
shit that
Bruce-
Britt said this past week, you were always 1 of 4, and I've always been 1-on-1. I was like, that's what's up. DMD, baby.
Uh-huh. And
I'll-
Bruce has got a
Yeah,
point
she
though.
ate
In
that
terms, of
line. She ate that line. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
in terms of business, yeah, Tony's pretty much doing the equivalent of pouring water into a cup that has a hole in it, until
Yes.
he plugs these leaks and figures out the finances of what he's doing. He's never gonna. He's gonna continue to be in the red, and you never want a business to be in the red.
Well, there's a couple caveats to that. I have a couple points on what you just said, Walter. Number one, we don't know if it's one of those things where he's in the red. He just got out of a meeting with David Zaslav, and he's super happy about that. So my assumption is he made the signing because he now in the green. That's just my thing. He doesn't wear an HBO Max hat and smile and talk glowingly about Zaslav.
In a Warner's Brother Discovery Max the week before.
Like if that didn't go well, he ain't saying that well. He ain't saying that much. I don't think this is overhyped by any stretch, right? That's just me. So there's that. However, despite that, and I think this has been the case ever since last year's All In and that whole debacle, which I refuse to talk about anymore. I did a whole Jay Hebert side. If you want to watch that, go for it.
I did.
I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah. The fucking Tony is putting Band-Aids on a blown leg at this point. Like, it's a blown up leg from an IED, and he's trying to put Band-Aids on it. Like,
It's just a flesh wound.
yeah, it's not. It's you lost a leg, buddy.
It's like the knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's just a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound. And the
All
problem
his limbs are just cut off. It's just a torso there now. I
Like-
can still fight.
yeah, like you got an issue like company wide with your locker room issues. Like you still like don't get me wrong. Great that you're going to do a stadium show in the US. Great that you're going to do a stadium show in Australia. That's awesome. Great that you signed Ricochet. Great that you're potentially in the green with Zaslav. Awesome. Awesome stuff. But you're still having backstage issues. You literally had to suspend somebody over BS that should have never even leaked. Again. How many years are we going to go through the same fucking story, Tony? Be a fucking boss, for fuck's sake. You would have thought you learned after Punk. Who, by the way, begged you to be a boss. And then you got... What are you doing? Like, sending
And
out...
then he fired him.
Right. And then you're sending out company fucking directives to, like, for talent to assault freaking content creators for sharing an opinion about something negative that they feel about creative. Like, I don't know if anybody saw that, but, like, I know everybody is not a fan of JD from New York. I know you kind of soured on him a lot, but when I saw the tweet JD wrote and Dax responding to JD from New York, I'm like, that rubbed me the wrong way, dude. I'm sorry.
He soured on him.
Well, King did. King.
Oh,
I know
okay.
King soured on him a little bit, but like to me, I
I
was
was
like,
gonna say I try to tune into him at least once a week and either catch his TNT show with the
yeah, that's a great fucking
or
show.
the
Yeah.
Wednesday one that he does after Dynamite. Either one of them. I try to catch one of those each week.
Yeah,
I like JD, but then again, I like Russo, and I feel like they're kind of cut from the same cloth. So
to a degree, yeah. Like for me, I understand people think he's a bandwagon hopper, but I know I've been following this guy for a long time. He's gonna tell you how it is, and that's all JD has ever done. And
And
to
that's
me,
what I appreciate about him. Whether you
yeah,
like his opinion or you don't like his opinion, he tells you what he feels the truth is, the truth in
right.
his eyes.
And at the end of the day, what was so absurd to me is like they're attacking him for all he said was the tag team division's kind of dead.
It is.
And it
It
is,
is.
by the way.
It is. We were having this conversation, me, Keen, and Noah, on the impromptu predictions.
We
And like who's gonna win the tag titles tomorrow night? And I was like,
Dude.
nobody's gonna win them. The Bucks are gonna keep them because none of these teams in this match need to be the fucking champions. The
Dude.
Acclaimed have had their time. They've been multi-time champions. FTR's had their time.
Yeah.
The Bucks can book themselves to have the titles whenever they want.
Yep.
It's like, where's Private Party at?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the Kings of the Black Throne?
Mm-hmm.
Trios division.
Where's Top Flight?
How did you not sign the grizzled young fucking veterans? Like, what are you
Thank you.
doing?
See, that's what I thought because
And I
basically
mentioned that.
it was in motion.
Yeah.
They've got so many other teams on their roster that they could be using Claudio and Yuta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who they're going to put in the trios match.
Freaking Nick Wayne and Kill Switch.
Yeah.
You've got the Gun Club. You've got Juice and Jay.
JY, yeah.
There's a bunch of teams. None of the teams in this match need to be fucking champions. What we need to have is have fucking Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin show up, beat the shit out of all three teams, and stand in the ring with the belts held high.
Lashley and Cedric. Don't forget Cedric.
Cedric
Yeah,
is in WWE.
Cedric's he's still in NXT.
Is
Yeah,
he?
Cedric in
He's
NXT.
in
Yeah,
WWE still.
Cedric
The
is in
other three are
NXT.
free agents.
Well, fuck.
So that's why I say let it be Lashley and Shelton, or let it be Shelton and MVP for the time being.
The Hurt Syndicate.
And just let them be standing tall in Wembley, belts in the air over all three of those fucking teams.
I mean, I
would have loved it if they did that. If they would have done like a
Jared and Lethal.
Yeah,
a
Jared
mystery
and Lethal,
team and not known, and it could have been those two.
Coast City Kingpins. I would call that. That's what I'd call the Hurt Business if you go into AEW. Coast City Kingpins.
Well, they copyrighted the Hurt Syndicate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did they really? Okay.
Yep.
That way they can kind of keep the Hurt Business moniker.
That's fair. Anyway, the whole reason I even brought up the Dax thing and the JD thing.
Yeah, get back to your point. Sorry about that, but
No,
I just
fine. We're taking
we had the same conversation on Wednesday. That's why
no,
I
right.
get the 2 cents in
but therein lies why I have such a huge problem with Dax going after JD, because it's like everybody's thinking this shit. It's like everybody. It's not just any of like if we're all agreeing, then you can't just target one person. That's what's so absurd to me about it.
But it's that one person that has been talking about so many. I mean, look what happened with the whole Alexa Bliss situation.
Yeah.
And the whole so JD's talking about pretty much everybody.
And by the way,
I was going to say it's easy to do that to somebody when you're already a polarizing individual.
Yes.
That's why whenever I bring up stuff from Russo, I always, usually say, if anybody else said this opinion, would you have the same feeling about it? If Mark Calloway went on 6 Feet Under and said the exact same thing Vince Russo did, would you be coming at him? Or would you respect his opinion because he's the fucking Undertaker?
Respect his opinion.
If he said the exact same thing JD from NY said, you coming after the dead man, or are you respecting him because he's the fucking Undertaker?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the issue that I have so much so with that, and I'm glad you brought that point up, because again, everybody has an opinion. You don't have to think everybody just is an asshole for having an opinion.
Yeah, it comes down to hate the message, not the messenger.
Yeah, the whole thing with JD is, yes, he did freaking have that Alexa thing. that happened years ago. He's apologized personally to her since. Same thing with Britt Baker. Apparently there was an issue there.
Yep.
And JD fucking apologized, and Britt Baker appreciated the apology, I guess, there. I'm surprised she appreciated any apology with the way she's acted backstage, to be fucking honest. So it's like, you know, he's made an effort to at least correct the mistakes. And then when I see him get attacked by some goon that Dax did a podcast with, Mike Kuhn, right? Retweet JD's tweet. And then that's when Dax decides to go after him over what was a tame take and say that he doesn't appreciate that we break our bodies. When did he ever say that in his tweet? Not once did he say that in any of his tweets talking about the tag team division. He was strictly calling out creative. Strictly. We have all done that. Every single person in this room has done that. Because we actually give a shit about the company, you fucking idiot. Sorry.
It's like coming after us for saying the women's tag titles don't mean anything in WWE. It's true. You can't argue that damn fact.
Yeah, and I've been calling out WWE on that for years.
Mm-hmm.
I showed you how to create women's tag team wrestling and how easy it is, how it's not hard.
Especially with the influx of talent that you've got in NXT.
Yes. I've literally shown how it can be done on this very fucking show format. Like, it's not hard to do. You know, you hate the message. You hate the message. Exactly what you said, JJ, not the messenger. And if you hate the fucking message, don't fucking get angry at us when we're calling it out. Take it up with your fucking boss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Better yet, change the narrative. Prove us wrong. That's what you got to go out and do.
Isn't that what EC3 tried to do? Control your narrative.
Yeah. He even said, that was a mistake.
I'm just saying, the promotion notwithstanding, take control and control the narrative that's put out there.
Yeah.
The booker has the power in the palm of his hand.
Correct.
The power is behind the pen and the paper. Or if you're really high tech, the phone in your finger. You know, what are we fond of saying around here, James? It ain't hard to book. It's just hard to finance.
Yep.
Ain't none of us got the money to finance. TK does. Booking's the easy part.
Yeah. Managing talent is the hard part.
And I'll give the fact that maybe it's easier from the outside looking in, from the armchair quarterback perspective, than it is being in the pits of the fire.
Yeah.
But still, like, if you don't allow the flames to engulf you and you keep them at a team level, it should be easy to control.
Should be.
It's when it spreads into a freaking forest fire, you know, only you can prevent forest fires. Prevent that shit.
Dude, Tony Khan still hasn't put out that fire, even with Punk firing. I wonder why. It's almost like he had other cancers.
That's the point. Punk was supposed to be the cancer. All of this shit was supposed to end when he got fired.
That's the problem.
It didn't.
Forget booking. He can't even control the attitude of his stars, the egos backstage. So, of course, he can't get booking correct.
I think the problem, too, is Tony, he focuses on what social media says way too much. Like, this dude is chronically online. Yes, if you saw a little bit like King did or a lot like JJ did of my show, it's not a place you want to spend time on. Trust me, believe you me, it's not a place you want to spend time on. I don't understand why.
I honestly try not to dwell on social media that long. The longest I'm usually ever on it is when I'm doing Uber Eats, because I'm literally sitting in my car doing nothing.
Yep.
Like, I may as well go on to Instagram, scroll for a little bit, check out some reels, hop over to Twitter, scroll for a little bit, hop over to Facebook.
Yep.
go back to Instagram, go back to Twitter, like repeat cycle until I get an order. But it's like, at least for me, and I feel like we've deviated a lot. There's some super chats waiting to be addressed.
Yes.
We still have to get to all in overall. But for me, I try to look at social media as entertainment.
Mm.
And I know not everybody can do that,
Right.
but it's for me, it's no different than picking up like the National Enquirer or one of them gossip magazines, basically.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing is the different people that I follow, the reporters, posting their gossip.
Pretty much.
Sometimes it's factual, sometimes it's embellished, sometimes it's a straight out lie.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in those magazines. And if you don't look at it as anything other than that, you can do as Noah always tells us to do and protect your mentality.
Yep. Which is
But if you start to treat what you see on social media as if it's, the Wall Street Journal, or as if it's the Bible, or
no.
some kind of solid factual news source, which, depending on your belief structure, the Bible is an even factual news source if we really want to go there.
Right.
But something that you put stock and faith into, then you're going to allow your mentality to get fucked up.
Yep. Which is what I think has happened to Tony to an extent, probably to a fault.
I wish I could meet this fool at a show, pull him to the side and be like, look, you don't know me from any of these other fans that are standing in line.
Nope.
But I want to see you succeed. And these are the changes as a fan watching for the last 2 years that I think that you need to implicate in order to grow your business.
Yep.
You can either listen to me, or you can walk away from here having heard nothing, like I'm one of the adults in Charlie Brown, just womp, 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 womp.
Yep.
How you handle this information is completely on you.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, again, we'll see what happens. I think they need to really reel in their backstage
Agreed.
discussion and their online discourse.
Agreed.
Really
But that requires you to fire the people that cause problems. And the problem is you've got somebody like a Britt Baker, who's the first female that they signed, arguably one of the pillars of their entire company, let alone the women's division. They're not going to fire her. You've got Sammy Guevara, who's been proven to have issues with multiple people backstage.
Yep.
But he's the future of the company and the business. You're not going to fire him.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Bucks, who are in positions of power. You're not going to strip them of their power, because then you've got to admit that you were wrong in choosing to put them in that position in the first place. And your ego is too fragile to admit that to the world.
Mm-hmm.
So the people that have been proven to be the problems are going to stay there.
Yep.
Whether we like those people or we don't. I like Britt. I can't stand the Bucks. I'm kind of indifferent on Sammy. I used to hate him. Then I got to the point where I kind of liked him. And then, he took the time off because of the pregnancy for Ty. Hasn't been around really until recently. He's on Ring of Honor. I can't see ROH. So I'm just kind of indifferent about him at this point because I haven't seen him in a while.
I agree. I don't care enough about him to even have an opinion.
But what I see of him as an in-ring competitor, he's fucking amazing. Give me Sammy Guevara versus Ricochet all day, every day. Let that be a Rampage main event. Might actually get some fucking eyes on Rampage.
Yeah, man.
For real.
Dude, and that's another thing. Like, when all of your shows are down ratings wise, I get that we usually don't pay attention to ratings, but that's kind of worrying. And we're talking like by thousands,
Yeah.
like hundreds of thousands of people have tuned out of all
And
shows.
that's the thing I'm most concerned about as far as
Yeah.
All In next year.
Yep.
Okay, you can sell out All In at Wembley Stadium, even going from 80,000 to 50,000, which is a 30,000 person drop.
Yep.
You can still sell it out and it looks impressive. If you can't get 10,000 to All In next year in the States,
Yep.
what the hell? Because you're having a hard time filling 5,000 seat arenas, and this is supposed to be your WrestleMania.
You're having a hard time selling out Grand Slam, which you only have set up for 5,000 instead of 21,000.
That's what I'm saying. You have a hard time selling out 5,000 seat arenas.
Yep.
And this is supposed to be your WrestleMania. If you can't at least do 25,000 here in the States, you are dead. And I think it's about time we admit, if they can't do that next year, that AEW is dead. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, especially probably for someone like Keen, who's been following AEW for a minute. But
Me too.
Wouldn't you agree, Keen, that if they can't do half of what they're going to do this year in Wembley stateside, that maybe it's time to admit that their best days are definitely long behind them?
If they can book the build well, like had they, because I'm not gonna lie, I am genuinely hyped for All In this year than I was last year. It's a complete night and day. It's a complete night and day difference. It all depends if they can keep the same book, the same formula that they have this year for All In going into next year in Texas. It all depends on the booking, how you promote it, and how you advertise it.
Yep.
I definitely agree with you there. Last year, I was hyped for All In because it was the first one under the AEW banner.
Yeah.
You know, I know there was the All In when it was,
The
year
original.
zero, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
The last year was the first one under the AEW banner, so I was kind of hyped for the WrestleMania of AEW. This year, I care way more about some of the matches than I did last year. So I totally feel you there, Keen. Next year, I mean, even if the build is good, though, I think we have to look, if the build is good as, if not better than this year's, and they still can't do half what they're going to do this year, I think that's a problem.
It is a concern, and I think.
I mean, at that point, and especially if TNA continues to grow with this NXT partnership,
Yep.
then TNA might be knocking on being number 2 again.
I mean, we got Scott D'Amore already signing people like Mauro Ranallo and an impending TV deal for his promotion that he just started up in Canada.
Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
Well,
like
he
that's
resurrected.
Well, resurrected it. Yep.
right. So that could be the next number 2 in the North America side. Like, you got to get a grip, man. Like, and we're not saying this because we want AEW to fail. Nobody in this group chat or anything wants AEW to fail. We want you to get a grip of your backstage bullshit, because half the time that's outshadowing whatever the hell is going on TV for a lot of people, because you've made it that much of a problem and you've put it on TV now, by the way.
Yeah. I think more than anything, and maybe I'm just speaking for me, y'all can make your voice heard.
Mm.
I want Tony Khan to admit there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can start trying to fix the problem.
Yep.
The first step to fixing any problem is to admit you have one.
Yep.
Exactly. But there's a backstage problem. There's a booking problem. There's an attendance problem. There's
Spreading yourself thin problem.
Problems across the board.
Yep.
I want Tony to sit there at the media scrum and be like, we're definitely having some struggles right now.
Yes,
But
yeah,
I feel like with the new deal that we just secured with Warner Brothers Discovery, I feel like with the fact that we're going to do All In a stadium in the States next year, I feel like there's the opportunity to do some major course correction within the next 365 days. And I want to focus on that going forward.
yeah. I think part of the problem too is, especially with these freaking financial idiots, Wall Street and company, basically. You have to like make it look like it's good, even if it's showing anything but, because for some reason Wall Street and other sharks want to hear fluff and not the facts, and
But
that's
Wall
part of the
Street
problem.
doesn't need to give a shit because AEW is not a publicly traded stock.
I'm saying Wall Street, not actually Wall Street. I'm talking about like financial experts or whatever the fuck. Like I'm just saying Wall Street because it's the only thing I can think of.
No, I get what you're trying to illustrate, but I just want to make it clear, like,
Yeah.
most people aren't going to care because it's not a publicly traded company.
No, and I get that.
If it was like WWE was, like TKO Endeavor is,
Yep.
it would be a completely different situation. They'd have a lot more they have to answer to.
Sure.
Right now, it's still technically the same as a mom and pop spot.
Yeah.
They don't have to answer. He doesn't have to answer to anybody except for Shad.
True. Yeah.
And as long as Shad is giving him the money to play with his toys, he ain't got to answer to nothing.
Which is part of the problem, I think.
Exactly. Let's get to these super chats and then we'll go back to All In, like overall hype and everything, because I feel like we just focused on one central thing.
Yes.
I do want to get into the show tomorrow. Today for you East Coasters, as I know it is past midnight now, but because like Keen said, I am really stoked for this show. Emmanuel with the $2 super chat. Happy birthday to me and his sister Arlene. Thank you, Emmanuel, for that and all the support that you and your sister are constantly giving us. 26.2 miles outside parts unknown with the $2 super chat. I do love that name.
Yeah.
Is the Casino Battle Royal on the show or on the pre-show? It is on the main card.
Yes.
And it's a gauntlet, not a battle royal.
Yes. I wish it was a battle royal. I actually miss
I do
those
too.
battle royals, to be honest.
I do too. I wish it was more like a Royal Rumble. That way, every couple of minutes, someone new would enter instead of 20 or 30 people being in the ring all at once.
I like the concept of the Casino Battle Royal, though, because I don't know, something about the whole, you come out in spades and then there's the Joker at the end. Like, I don't know. I always like that. And
the fact that you don't really know when it's going to end, because he said it on Twitter during a media scrum or something. He was like, it could be 21 people involved. It's like, you just
that's
don't
what
know.
I'm saying. It's like,
But it could end in 4 too. Like, that's the. I think Tony would want to give as many people an all-in payday as possible.
Right.
So he will probably have it go deep. But the fact that it just ends with one pinfall and it's not a traditional gauntlet where once somebody gets pinned and eliminated, another person comes out, I think is going to fuck a lot of people up.
That, and it's like, Hangman's going to win anyway.
Yeah,
that's the one rule I would change.
Yeah, because Shivani said on commentary on Collision, saying the winner gets an immediate shot at the World Championship.
Yeah, it's got to be
at any time.
Yeah.
But is it though?
I feel like it's got to be.
It's going to be Hangman winning, and Shivani said can cash in at any time. So if they place, of course, Danielson and Swerve on the main event, and you're going to have the Casino Gauntlet match and Hangman wins it. I feel like if Swerve retains, Hangman might cash it in.
Like Swerve and Danielson, I think, is going to be Danielson's last match. Like, that's going to be for the title, and Swerve is going to get the belt back, and then they're going to do the match with Hangman and Swerve at Full Gear, 1 year to the day from their blow
I
off
think
the first
it's either got to be Hangman or one of the surprise unannounced people just to throw a curve. It's got to be one of those two. Like I really
I
can't
still
see
want it to
anyone
be
else
Jeff
doing it.
Jarrett, baby.
There's no way.
And,
There's no way. Like I wouldn't mind Jeff at this point, especially in the face run, but I don't see it yet. Who knows? I still think they should have done a battle royal instead of a gauntlet because you already know the end result is going to be Hangman winning. I don't know why or Jarrett or who was the other person you mentioned, Walter? I forget.
no, I just said any surprise that's not announced, like a Ricochet or
Maybe
Bobby
a Lashley, yeah,
yeah.
But if it's not going to be a surprise, it's got to be Hangman.
Which is why you should make it a regular gauntlet match where you keep pinning and the next person comes out. You shouldn't do the 21 thing. That way, when your surprises come out, it's actually worth it. Like everybody should be getting eliminated and the next person come out. Don't call it a gauntlet if it's not really a gauntlet. It's just like
that's what I'm saying.
21-man first to win. It's kind of dumb.
Just do a battle royal, brother. Like just do a battle royal. Just do the casino battle royal. Like, fuck's
Right.
sake.
And why are we doing casino anything and we're not in Vegas? We're not in Atlantic City. Like,
Call it.
come on.
Call it.
At least
call
put
it
us somewhere
Clock
where
Ben
they're
Battle Royal
known
or
for
something.
gambling.
We do got a
Pub
London
brawl
ladder
gauntlet.
match.
Like, come on.
Just I don't know. Call it a fucking. I don't know, something like maybe blackjack battle royal or something. It's still Vegas. Like
It's still casino thing, bro.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
well, I mean, they
it
have
makes
casinos in London, right?
It made sense the first few times they did it when it was in Vegas, but yeah.
The point is
what's
just
the
make
point?
it a battle royal. For fuck's sake, I don't get it. It's stupid.
The Buckingham Palace gauntlet match. Like,
yeah.
something
There you
British
go.
related.
That would work. That would work. Yes. We also are we gonna get to Daniel's comment?
Hold on, because it's not a super chat. That's the first line.
That's
We
fair.
do have another super chat from 26.2 miles outside parts unknown. Difference between intercontinental and continental.
The difference is one is just continental and it doesn't have an inter. Is that
Well, that's pretty much it. One is within the continent. So like North America would be Canada, US, and Mexico. Intercontinental would be North America, South America, Africa, Asia, etc. All the continents. Intercontinental.
okay. So this is a. So wait, the continental is just the North American championship.
Yeah, it would just be one continent. I just used North America as an example.
Wait, but technically there's two
This
continents.
isn't John Wick in the Continental's Hotel, bro.
But there's two continents technically that are connected with each other. There's the North and South America.
But they're two separate continents. There's Central America in the middle if you really want to fuck your brain.
We got
It depends on where the company's based out of. That's what you're the champ of it within that continent. The North America depends on who. Intercontinent is all 7 of them.
I hate
Said, I learned something new today.
Brother. I feel like Solo Sokoa, but instead of math, it's geography. Did anybody see those tweets, by the way? Did anybody see those tweets from Solo? It's like, I hate 2013 Solo tweets. I hate math. Fuck math.
And then you're
That's because in 2013 he was studying Steiner math.
It's true.
They said that as a joke when what's his name did his promo Monday. He said, "I'm from a prestige university." I said he majored in Steiner math.
That's Braun Breaker, brother.
Yeah, Braun Breaker. Yeah.
Braun Breaker majored in that shit. I bet you he does like math just to figure out how he's gonna spear a motherfucker in the next week. How much speed I gotta get, how much velocity I gotta get, if I'm going to break the barricade or just push him over. We'll see what happens there. That'll be fun.
Hook on Wrestling. If you have a wrestling question, they will answer. Only $9.99. Call today to order.
Yeah.
True that.
I love Emmanuel.
Emmanuel always a salesman, man.
Very good salesman he
He's
is.
over on Walter's channel right now. I can tell by the little icon on his name because Walter is sharing the thing.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
All right, so all in overall, and the other comment that starred can kind of tie into that because
there you go.
But 11 matches booked so far, and I say so far because we could wake up in the morning and TK's added another match. Hopefully he won't, but
he will.
2 pre-show matches, 9 on the main card. That's actually pretty tame for Tony. I'm impressed. Let's go over the pre-show first.
Dude, you're so jinxing it. There's gonna be like 3 matches added tomorrow. Are you kidding me?
You stop it right there, James.
Stop it. Even with a 2-hour pre-show, bro, you better stop that.
They did it last year. He has a 2-hour fucking 0-hour again this year.
Gonna be the tea and brisket ladder match.
Nah, man, this isn't WWE where everything is sponsored.
I want that. I want this.
Nobody wants to touch AEW right now. They fill up the seats, so they can't get it sponsored.
Hey, I'm just saying, if AEW were to do what WWE is doing, they'd at least get some financial woes in order. I'm just saying. Dude wipes Battle Royal. Let's go.
So it was announced, I believe, tonight on Collision. They've added a 10-man tag team match to the pre-show.
Yes.
Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, Katsuyori Shibata, and Devon Eric.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Versus the Undisputed Kingdom and Cage of Agony.
Wait.
Taven Bennett, Cage of Agony.
Okay. I was like, wait, where's Roderick Strong in this?
Roderick is going to be in the Casino Gauntlet match.
Okay.
Yeah, I would almost bet. Along with maybe a returning Adam Cole, baby.
Cole of the Adam variety, babies. Cool.
But this, to me, number one, it feels like it's something that spiraled out of Ring of Honor, and I don't want Ring of Honor Weekly to know what kind of led to this. And secondly, this just feels like a let's get as many people onto the show as we can match.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, because they've been brawling on Ring of Honor for weeks, and then it carried over to the final 2 weeks of Collision in the esports stadium, and this is how we got here because of Ring of Honor.
Hey, all I'm saying is good for Dustin for getting two belts on him. Good for him.
Yeah. Honestly, I hope Dustin can last one more year. I know he was kind of talking that his career is dwindling as well.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're going to be in Texas next year, I'd like for his final match to be at All In next year in Texas.
It has to be.
It's going to be obvious. It's going to be.
Again, there's a lot of factors. I think the perfect retirement run for Dustin is, in a perfect world, like if he could somehow, have these championship runs that he's got going on now, eventually drop them, put over whoever. And then, if AEW actually is going to work with other companies, maybe even the E, Dustin and Cody at Las Vegas Mania, and then he wins it and then loses the belts in All In Texas to a WWE guy and even an AEW guy, who the hell knows, right? That would be my ideal perfect retirement for him, because I would be so stoked for him if that happens. But You know, a boy can dream. That would be my whole thing, but we'll see what happens with Dustin.
What would be awesome is win or lose come next year at All in Texas if Hunter allows Cody to go out there and embrace him.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Or maybe even,
Or at least to send a video package
True.
yeah.
they can play on the big screen.
I don't think he'll go anywhere near the title, but maybe you give him the title right before he retires, the title that his brother could never compete for because of that clause. And
Right.
Yeah. So they kind of both brothers finished their own stories. Like, I would do that.
That'd be cool.
And then also on the pre-show, we've got Chris Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Willow Nightingale and Tomohiro Ishii.
You are now queued out.
What? Siri? What that?
That was me logging off my work phone.
I
was wondering what that was.
What?
I'm like,
What the fuck? No, I'll I mean, come on, we know Stokely ain't winning. I would be
are
shocked.
you sure?
I'm positive because it's
Are you sure?
dude.
I think this was
about
built
it this
for Willow
way.
to lose.
Think about it this way. If Stokely and Statlander get the W, Stat would more than likely be in line for another shot at Willow and her title.
And even Chris did a training with Stokely on Collision, and they showed the training video package, and all Stokely learned was a crucifix pin. And then Chris basically gave Stokely a suplex into the other opponent.
Whoever wins can they pick the stipulation for the one-on-one match between Statlander and Willow. So
And All Out.
Factor that in there too.
So, I mean, I said it on the show with Keen. I was like, if this was Vince McMahon booking, Stokely would get the victory over Ishii.
That would be crazy, though.
Right?
But as crazy as that is, and I brought up this point, The Undertaker has lost twice at WrestleMania. Michael Cole is undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Weirder shit has happened, bro.
I just feel like with matches where the winner picks the stipulation, it just works better with a heel because you want to put the baby face behind the eight
And
ball by picking some kind of stipulation. It wouldn't make sense for the
Exactly.
baby face to pick it.
Okay.
Exactly. And you figure they're going to want to do 50-50 booking on the pre-show.
Mhm.
So if you have the baby faces win the 10-man,
Mhm.
then you have the heels win this.
Stokely is a fucking goddamn toothpick compared to goddamn EC. How's this become a legitimate possibility? I hate it.
Hey, in MMA, we've seen little people knock out some way bigger opponents. So.
Yeah, but bro, he fucking Stokely Hathaway ain't Demetrius Johnson, Walter. I mean, come on.
I know.
Come on.
I say Stokely ain't no Rampage Jackson, okay?
No,
Look,
Stokely
Look, James. Everybody here knows how much I love me some Willow.
Yeah.
I don't want to see her lose. But Stat has taken way too many L's since this heel turn.
Hell yeah.
No, I agree with that.
She kind of has, yeah.
And if she loses here, you got to think like, why does she deserve that title shot then?
Right.
Okay, they have to do some fuck shit to pull that off then if they're gonna have Stokely pin Ishii. Like, it has to be dirty as dirty can be. Like, I don't know, like he
Or
goes for
it
the
could just
schoolboy,
be-
gets his foot on the ropes, Statlander holds his
It
foot on
could
the
just
ropes.
be
or something.
wrong place, wrong time. Think about it. Stat could lay something into Willow. Willow could stumble into Ishii. Tag Stokely. Stokely just crawl over for the pin.
You're about to, yeah,
Stumble.
Kind of like
or
domino
Statlander
shit.
suplex each
Some
time.
kind of like
And Stokely
domino
gets the
shit.
pin.
You know, like Stat kicking Willow. Willow stumbles into Ishii, knocks him down, tags in Stokely, goes for the pinfall.
Bro, we're
It
talking
sounds stupid, but this is the UK, dude. Have you seen some of their comedy shows?
No, I've seen it, but
I'm just saying.
I mean,
Have
look
you
at the
ever
crowd.
watched Mr. Bean?
hey, listen, I get you. You hear me out though. Ishii is a guy who literally you have to like have a nuclear bomb on his head for him to fall down.
I
the
know.
ring now.
We know this, bro.
That's why it would be so hilarious.
Or basically, Statlander can suplex Ishii. Just saying, and Stokely get the pin that way. I mean, look what happened in
He gets it
Cardiff
from
tonight.
suplexes.
Look what happened in Cardiff tonight. Big Bill got over with Hook. I mean, got over in his match against Hook, and Hook got booed.
Yeah, because
Back to
Big
the
Bill's
tag
great.
teams, Big Bill and Brian Keith. Hello.
Yeah, there you go for tag teams. Yeah, true.
All right, so we've got those two matches. Then we move to the main card,
Yay.
and we've got a London ladder match
Ugh.
for the trios titles.
That's fun.
The Patriarchy versus the Bang Bang Gang versus the House of Black versus the BCC and the Bastard Pack.
Oh. Well, that
Yeah,
makes
they beat Top Flight and Leo Rush earlier tonight on Collision for that 4th spot.
Yeah, which I was saying on the impromptu thing, it was stupid that they did that. That's where they should have just debuted the Hurt Syndicate. Had Lashley, MVP, and Shelton be that mystery team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather than throwing them in this gauntlet match that none of them are realistically going to win. Throw them in this London Ladders match and they could have walked out with the gold.
Also, well, there is reports that MVP isn't totally healed yet. So even if that was the case, I mean, you have Leo Rush there. He's got history with Lashley, so
there's ways to work around it.
I hate these kiss ass title matches like Philadelphia Street Fight, London Ladder. Like what the fuck is the difference it's a ladder from any other ladder match? Like, stop doing that shit.
All the ladders are going to be painted with the Union Jack on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably, actually, I wouldn't doubt it. No. You know where it is? Instead of from the Home Depot, they come from Costco. So they should have called it the Costco ladder match.
God damn you. You leave Costco alone, James.
Hey, listen, it's better than calling it the wanker ladder match. First one to go up to the ladder and wank off wins. They become the champions.
Then
That's
again,
basically what this is.
Then again, we've got the triple threat match for the AEW tag titles. The Bucks versus FTR versus the Acclaimed.
The London tag match, guys.
The Casino Gauntlet. We've got a last chance match for the FTW title. If Hook loses, he can never challenge for the title as long as Jericho is champion.
I kind of want him to lose so we can move on to bigger shit.
My character stagnation.
Yeah.
But here's the point I brought up to A-Train. Where does he go from here?
I said inevitably.
Is he going to go for the TNT title that the Scapegoat has?
Mm-hmm.
And depending on who you talk to, kind of deserves with the way he's evolved his character. Is he going to go versus Ospreay for the American Championship or MJF? No. Is he going to go against Okada? No.
Mm-mm.
So you lose the title that is your family legacy. You never can challenge for it again, and you're in catering.
I mean, there's Ring of Honor, though.
He can always go heel, end up joining the Jericho, and then
Hi,
destroy
guys.
the side later on.
He could join the conglomeration.
In my mind, the entire point of this was to get Hook a huge win in a huge place. And all in Wembley in front of $50,000 is that 50,000 people.
$50,000.
What's it? $50,000.
Yeah, I was going to say, his salary, shit.
That's what I say.
But in all seriousness,
okay.
let's not go like that. It's Freudian slip, but this is the way to get Hook over more than he's ever been in his life.
By the way, an alleged 50,000.
Yeah. We don't know how many of those tickets were giveaways and how many were actually sold.
Not
Right.
yet, anyway. Okay. The only issue with that is Hook. He's already had that moment last year against Jack Perry. Yes, it wasn't on the main card, but he was the main event of the pre-show.
And the Crimea River was born.
I wonder if his dad
Yeah, but
is
see,
going to
that's
get off the booth and get involved.
too many people remember that as opposed to the fact that Hook won the match.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because to be real,
Yeah.
I had completely forgot that Hook won that match until you just brought it up. I remember that's Real Glass Crimea River.
It's such a goddamn shame, man. Because
It
last
is.
year's card was literally
is.
the perfect booked card, and then it
Top
just
to
got
bottom.
all undone by that bullshit. I hate it. I hate it.
Tell us how you really feel. Speaking
did.
of hating it,
Let it out, James. Come on.
speaking of
Let it
hating it,
out.
James, we have a coffin match for the TNT title between Darby Allin and Jack Perry.
We got another coffin match. I swear to God. Why couldn't you? Okay. Why couldn't it have been lights out? Please enlighten me why it couldn't have been a lights out match.
Do you remember how good the Pitch Black match was in WWE?
No.
And
Not
the-
the same thing.
The last time we had a
London
lights out.
coffin match.
Yeah. go
No,
ahead.
no, Walter, not a London coffin match.
Oh. Oh God. Okay. Yes, I know the last time we had a lights out match. It was in what was it? 2023, right?
Ooh, it's 2023 is 3 years. I know it's been 2
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah. So listen, I don't know why it couldn't have been a lights out match. You've established lights out. By the way, lights out is just an unsanctioned match. That's their name for the lights
Yeah,
out
your
match.
record don't get touched.
Yeah, it's not a pitch black match. It's not the fucking glow stick fucking funhouse bullshit. Sorry. So
Sorry, Bray, and on the 1 year anniversary
Yeah,
of
sorry,
your
Bray.
passing,
yeah,
We apologize, Bray.
to my brother. But nah, I look at it, I'm like, a coffin match? You have such bad blood. You had a fucking War Games. We're gonna settle for a goddamn coffin match?
Yep.
Why?
Because
so that they can have a glass coffin and he can say it's Real Glass Crimea River.
I swear to God, if they do it, nah, man, I gotta call
Then
this.
it's called a
event.
callback, James.
I hate no.
It's gonna be
No.
so Darby falls off a great height and ends up just falling right into the casket.
There was already Photoshop pictures of him standing on top of that little London, top of the arc of that stadium rehearsing. Photoshop on top of that.
Probably, yeah. That's
Darby's going to go for a coffin drop through a glass coffin, break through it, and that's how Jack Perry's going to win.
And then cry
We get
himself over.
Revolution and All In from last year combined.
But it won't be real glass. It'll be the candy glass like King of the Ring with Shane O'Mac and Kurt Angle.
No. I just wanted this lights out unsanctioned, man. Why did there have to be glass involved? I mean, I guess you could
Probably
have glass
because
involved,
we're
but-
already having an FTW match, which is an unsanctioned title. How are we going to have a unsanctioned match as well?
Correct.
Come on, James.
Anything that Darby Allin does is unsanctioned.
That's what I'm
Correct
saying.
as well.
Oh, whatever.
So then we
it'll be
have-
fun.
So then we have our match for the American Championship because America. We, the people. MJF versus Ospreay.
Don't they both have belts or something? They both
No,
come in with-
MJF
No.
took Ospreay's belt and rechristened it the America Championship.
Right, but then Osprey took the belt out of the trash. Doesn't he have the physical international belt?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Maybe.
Don't tell me he didn't actually come out with it after that. Please tell me that isn't the case.
No.
Why? Why?
Then-
That was perfect.
If they did
Oh,
that, then watch this. We'll go to a time limit draw, and then it all out. Bah. it'll be a ladder match like freaking Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon, and both belts will be hanging.
Oh, the Chicago ladder match.
The undisputed continental title.
The undisputed continental title. Yeah. It will be called the dual continental title. One's from South America, one's from North America.
But then you exclude all the other continents.
Osprey will win it, and he'll deem it the European Championship.
Again?
Hey, you know what? I always wanted that to happen in WWE. I wanted the U.S. title to get lost to somebody like William Regal, and then for him to resurrect the European title during his run.
I did too, to be fair.
WWE 12, I blame for that one.
The United Kingdom.
Yeah, good group idea. Sad it never
was. Right.
Then we have our TBS title match. Mercedes versus Britt.
B-O-O.
Leave her alone. I will say, okay, we mentioned Mercedes. Her dance that she did at the what was it? No, it wasn't even her dance. It was the swerve.
No,
dance,
no,
right?
I'm saying God at these two here.
Oh, yeah. No, the fucking the dance that she did for Swerve at that baseball stadium when they were promoting, bro. The comment section, you weren't kidding, King. Jesus Christ. The comment section lit her up. All she did was just dance. Like, I get people hate her, but fuck me. That's a bit.
Because she dances like a Grand Theft Auto stripper.
Holy. Holy shit! No, don't give me the visual, King. What the fuck are you doing?
Don't do a side by side of her stupid dance and go play GTA 5 and see if you can spot the difference.
I had a conniption fit for a second, King. What are you doing to me?
I'm gonna say this, and I apologize in advance. But I can say this. I can get away with this one. Mercedes's dance is like an epileptic stripper having a seizure while dancing.
No. Actually,
and I can say that because I have epilepsy.
Oh my God.
You can say that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you
can. I mean, to be fair, if she was dancing like that, I mean, that's going to be feeling great for the other person on the other end. I'm just saying.
They might as well use her for the motion capture to GTA 6 for the strippers.
Jesus Christ.
Okay,
dude.
but in all seriousness, y'all, let's reel this in just a little bit. Something going back to that promo with Britt and Mercedes and the whole 1 of 4, 1 of 1 comment kind of got the wheels going.
Yes.
About Rebecca Quinn showing up.
And what's crazy about that you touched on that, JJ, is that I follow Ruckus and Ruckus follows me back, the AEW music producer. He's tweeted out 2 gifs of a person with red orange hair.
Just red orange hair and no person? Like, is it?
Well,
like,
one from I know one from The Office, and the other one I think was from Muppet Sesame Street. Like either one of those.
Why did they show Muppets to fucking hype up Becky? What?
I guess because of the color of her hair. I don't know.
Show, Beaker.
There will be no hatred on the Muppets on this. God damn it, I love the Muppets too much.
No, I'm not hating on the Muppets. I'm just wondering, like, what the fuck, Beaker?
So I'm guessing he's
like, am I the only one that thinks that Drake looked like Sam the Eagle?
God damn it.
Oh my.
Anyway, we gotta beep. Oh wow.
Yes. Teleporting into the command center. All the way from Angel Grove High, Datilla in the house.
Did we? Oh, I hope she didn't just come in after we did the whole Mercedes thing.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Okay, good.
We're kind of going through the all-in card a little bit and giving our
okay.
thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily doing predictions because most of that has already been done by us, but just thoughts about some of the matches, what we're looking forward to. We were talking about Britt and Mercedes.
Oh, okay.
And I mentioned the whole 1 of 4, 1 of 1 comment. And, ever since then, kind of got the wheels turning. Could Becky show up here on Sunday? And now there's 2 of 4. Would be a great place for her to make a debut.
What's Becky Quinn doing in the Elite Zone?
Yeah, and then she'll come out there and look at the seats and be like, I'm definitely not used to this.
Right? Punk still takes those shots. He'll be looking at the hard camera and be like, it's great to see fans over here.
I think he did that with WWE at one point, didn't he?
Well, yeah, but taking a shot at AEW, he's been doing it since he came back.
Again, it seems very like they're doing it on purpose, like some fuckery about to be afoot, man.
Totally. There was one promo. He came back and he was like, "It's great to see all of you, and it's especially good to see you people," pointing to the hard cam side.
Jesus. What if they were all imaginary people, though? What if they were like holograms and shit? It's the fucking the Thunderdome.
God damn it!
It's hologram from AEW. It's hologram.
Oh God, James.
He cloned himself. He's everywhere.
Noah's not here, so someone's got to do it at least once. Damn it, James! You fucking idiot!
There you go. Yeah.
It's the extra people in Grand Theft Auto that walk around.
Yeah, the NPCs,
NPC characters.
Datilla, what do you think about Britt and a Mercedes? Do you think there's a chance we could see Becky?
Well, I haven't liked the build towards Britt and Mercedes that much, honestly. It picked up a lot. It picked up this week, but I haven't really liked the build that much. I think there's a chance. Is it a high chance? I mean, never say never,
Right.
So there's a chance for sure.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Damn it. Daniel's saying that Mercedes would make a great Rita Repulsa.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Datilla's got a little bit of Power Rangers on the brain. She's been at Power Morphicon all weekend doing the tour, going to filming sites, going to the command center, going to Angel Grove Park. I've been keeping up with your photos, Datilla.
Oh yeah. I went to the command center on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You talked to Zordon.
Zordon wasn't there actually.
Motherfucker.
Dang. And then I went to Vasquez Rocks, which is where they filmed a lot of episodes. Somebody actually climbed to the very top of those rocks. I made it halfway. I was like, I'm not going up there. You can't see me in the video because I was the one filming, but you saw me go. You saw like the video go high and stuff. I didn't go that far. I just made it halfway.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad. Tell next time you see Zordon, tell me he owes me money, will you?
I think I actually saw him yesterday. I think I walked by his booth.
What, Zordon?
Yeah, he's there.
The guy that played Zordon is at the con.
Jeez. Oh.
Come on, James.
James.
Yes. In the middle of the convention center, there's a floating head.
Yeah.
To be honest, that'd be hilarious.
I mean, with the way tech is these days, I wouldn't put it past them, but still.
True. That would be funny.
26.2 miles outside parts unknown with a super chat. Datilla, are you going to the Joe Hendry signing?
Are you going, JJ?
I don't know. It's $100 for VIP. I mean, that's kind of costly for me right now.
He went up? How much? That's how much it is?
$100 for the VIP.
And how much is a regular photo op?
That's all that was available on the website. Was the VIP.
Wow, I paid $40 at Rebellion to take a photo with him.
He's getting
that
NXT TNA. It's there are so many believers in Joe Hendry. The only person on this panel that doesn't believe in Joe Hendry is Keen A Train here.
How
Which
dare you?
I don't know if you've officially met him before, but Keen A Train, this is Dattila. This is Keen A Train. He's part of the ATW View crew with James and Noah.
And this isn't A Train that got dropped on his head off in F5. This is different A Train, different guy.
He's not going to come back.
Thanks,
the next
James.
episode.
Greatly appreciate that, bro.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, you never know. Some people might not know the difference. So, kind of hard not to. But yeah.
To answer your question, Porto, no, I want to, but that's not the only thing I'm doing in October, so we'll see. I just found out Sting's going to be at the LA Comic Con along with Amy Jo Johnson, so that's 100 each right there.
God
Yeah,
damn.
Sting and the Pink Ranger, that's...
Sting with the thing. Sting becomes the new Ranger.
300 if you throw in Johnny Young Bosch.
So wait,
I guess Sting would be the Black Ranger, right?
Yeah, well, Sting would be the Crow
Oh no,
Ranger.
Johnny Young Bosch is going to be there. He was the Black Ranger after
Yeah,
Zach.
he's the Black Ranger.
That was Adam.
They realized that maybe making the black guy the Black Ranger was not culturally appropriate even then. So they put it on an Asian guy instead.
Better than making him the yellow one.
That's
They
true.
had Asian girl as the Yellow Ranger.
They did an interview about that. They didn't realize that was insensitive until like 10 episodes in. That's why when Walter and Twee left, they switched the races, and that's why since then we hadn't had an Asian Yellow Ranger up until Once and Always.
Oh yeah, that's right. Is that the whole reason they switched the whole cast was because of that, or was there other
No,
reasons?
there's a whole story
there's a
behind
whole
that.
big-
I know Jason got into some
Well,
issues.
Billy the one who played Billy got bullied.
Did
And he was the
really?
longest one. He was on the most Power Rangers.
Oh, God damn, poor guy.
Well, it was between him and Tommy.
David Yost, I think his name is. I forget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
David Yost.
Mm,
But anyways, so getting back to All In,
yes,
because we don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole of Power Rangers.
indeed.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different video.
So after Mercedes and Britt is arguably my most anticipated match, and that's Mariah versus Tony.
Mhm.
Timeless.
The Glamour versus Timeless.
Mm.
And again, I'll cheap plug it again. I'll cheap plug it one more time during the shows. Check out my review of All About Eve tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, ahead of All In's 0 hour.
There you go.
Because I watched and reviewed it, and it'll go live tomorrow.
Sweetness.
But ever since I was already hyped about this match, but ever since watching the movie, it took my level of excitement for this match to the next level.
Amen.
Seeing all the parallels.
Mm. Mm.
Daniel here thinks that Jamie will help Britt. That's definitely a possibility. Going back to the last match.
If Britt didn't piss her off, apparently there's rumors that they don't like each other or something because Tony again doesn't know how to manage his locker room decorum. Sorry.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I know I'm going to get to see some of the show before I have to go to work. Hopefully this is a match that I can see before then. If not, I will definitely be watching All In back once I get home because like I said, my excitement level for this match is through the roof.
I'm very excited.
Mainly because this is the one match of the two main events for me that I could really see going either way.
Mm.
Even though I figure Mariah is going to win, I could see Tony picking it up by some fluke and there being some kind of run back stipulation at All Out.
Maybe.
But Brian versus Swerve, like I feel that's Brian is winning that. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Sure. Yeah, I think so too.
And like I said on the impromptu, Punk Moxley trading title bullshit aside, Danielson's going to have the shortest reign of any AEW World Champion because he will lose it at Wrestle Dream
Yep.
in front of his hometown, home crowd, family,
Yep.
fans.
Yep.
And that'll be his final match.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
And that would make his run like 45 days, give or take. And I think the shortest run right now is like 56 days.
Yeah, Moxley.
So
Yep.
Danielson will have the shortest reign in AEW history. Again, not counting the Punk Moxley stuff because there's like a 3-day title reign in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But let's just go around the horn here. And since she was late to the party, we'll start with Datilla. Out of the matches of All In, what match or 2 matches are you looking most forward to?
Definitely Tony Storm versus Mariah May. That's the one match I'd say I probably am looking forward to the most. I really like the story. I'm familiar with All About Eve, so if it plays out that way, I kind of know how this is gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I'm waiting to see if that's gonna be if we're gonna walk into Dynamite on Wednesday and have the ending of All About Eve kind of take shape.
yeah.
And
Same.
you can say it if you want to. I've already said it to the viewers and to the panel here in discussing why I'm so excited about it. But there's another fan there to repeat cycle.
Yeah. Basically, there's another fan at the end of All About Eve that aims to take Eve's place. So I wonder who's gonna take Mariah's place. So, and then another match I'm probably looking forward to. Yeah, I mean, even though I know Bryan Danielson is probably winning, Bryan Danielson versus Swerve Strickland, I think that's going to be a really great match. And then the third one would probably have to be MJF versus Will Ospreay.
I think that's my most anticipated match just because of the freaking caliber of workers they are. Like, goddamn.
Imagine that's where you debut Becky Lynch. Imagine she's the other fan. You just don't know it for a few weeks until it's revealed. Like it's under a hoodie or something. You could just leave it there. You don't really show her, and then a few weeks later, it's revealed that that's Rebecca Quinn.
That would be really weird, though, because she's so established. Like,
yeah,
right.
she's been around longer than Mariah May has.
That's true.
You would need somebody that's younger, or not necessarily like younger in age, but hasn't been wrestling as long as Mariah.
That's true.
Izzy Marino. Here we go.
Get out of my fucking head, James. I was just about to say you would almost need somebody like Izzy.
It's Izzy Marino. Here she comes.
But if they were going to bring her in, I think it would be better suited to bring her in with Mercedes.
Yeah, true.
To have her go against Mercedes than to bring her in this aspect.
That would be funny though. we actually call it on the show. If I actually see Izzy as the one, I would actually like die, like laughing. I'll be doubled over. It's busy.
Or not knowing. I know she's appearing at NWA 76. I don't know if she's inked an exclusive deal, but maybe someone like Hollywood Haley J from OVW.
Okay, yeah, good shout. Good shout. Be pretty good. Yeah, we'll see.
But again, like I don't know if she's inked a deal with the NWA. I just know that she's going to be in that Burke gauntlet thing that they're doing to see who gets a shot at the Burke.
I see.
Which, for those of you that remember my Fantasy Forbidden Door show, Kenzie Page versus Hollywood Haley J was one of my matches, and it's a very big possibility with her being in this gauntlet. Like it could happen.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
What about you, A-Train? 1 or 2 matches that you're most excited about for today?
Well, first off, it is Tony and Mariah because of the story that's being built up ever since December of last year with the signing of Mariah May and how she got introduced to Tony, and then with RJ's fingerprints all over on the story, like made me, like you said on the impromptu, and I also agree, it made me respect RJ 10 times more what he's doing at AEW. And basically how the story has been invested with a lot of people, and how it's grabbed their attention. And of course, we're going to get the ending scene of where we're going to call it the Mariah era at this rate. I think that's what I predict on Wednesday, and I'm sticking to it. And of course, with Swerve and Danielson, it really is the title versus career, the final countdown for Danielson. Can Danielson pull it off? Can he finally win some AEW gold before he drifts off to the sunset, possibly October 12th? Or will it still be Swerve's house, and Swerve will submit his legacy and be that one to say, as AEW World Champion, I was going to defeat Bryan Danielson in front of 50,000 in Wembley. And of course, with MJF and Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson told Will Ospreay, do it. All it takes is one Tiger Driver. Can Ospreay hit it? If he hits it, it's done.
Yep.
MJF ain't gonna have possibly no neck like Ishii and reclaim the AEW International Championship, but that X factor that I feel like that people are missing out on. Because I remember when Matt Menard cut a promo on Collision a few weeks back, that took Daniel Garcia out for a little bit. And I remember he was saying that when Daniel comes back, he will come back as Red Death to get his lick back on MJF. That is the X factor. If Daniel Garcia shows up and Will Ospreay hits that Tiger Driver, Will Ospreay will reclaim the International Championship.
Yep.
Okay.
Either
Before
or.
we move on to James joining the fray now, fresh home from work at Wally World, the Stat Boy is in the house.
Hello, my internet family.
What
Hey,
is
Mikey.
going on, good sir? Stat Boy, this is Keen A-Train. A-Train, this is my brother from another mother, Stat Boy Mike. A-Train is part of the ATW crew along with James and Noah.
Nice to meet you, brother. Welcome aboard.
Nice to meet you.
James, what are you looking forward to for All In?
Definitely Ospreay MJF all day, hands down. It's got to be that. I love just those two are actually going to have a program with each other, regardless of how it goes. Like I've been calling it that they are the two best mic talkers, the two best wrestlers in the world, 1A, 1B, and we got that awesome, epic freaking match on Dynamite. Now we're going to get this match. I think they're going to outdo what they did on television. I think they're going to outdo it here on pay-per-view. I'm just waiting to see how they go about it. I feel either Ospreay hits the Tiger Driver or Daniel Garcia distracts MJF and then MJF hits the Tiger Driver. One of the two things is going to happen. That's definitely going to be the X factor there. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Walter?
Well, the main event, obviously. And since everybody already said Tony Storms, I'll say the Casino Gauntlet match because I want to see what surprises actually happen, who debuts, and who comes out on top. I think that's the biggest impact on future of AEW because if you do the right thing with the surprises and the debuts, you can really kick off somebody's career. So I'm really looking forward to that Casino Gauntlet match to see who's in it.
That's fair. That's fair. Mikey, I know you don't really watch AEW. Are you familiar with the card at all for All In? Is there anything you're looking forward to or not really?
All I know is MJF is going to do his job and put on a hell of a show no matter what the odds are. He'll definitely be true to the name of the show. He will go all in and he will come out on top. He will put on a show. He will He will piss a few people off like he always does. That's who MJF is, you know. I mean, he never fails to not put on a good show. I mean, he's the hottest thing right now. Well, one of the top hottest things is still.
Do you know he's fighting? Do you know he's wrestling Will Ospreay?
Oh yeah. I'm aware of that. I mean, that match is that's an epic match from what I'm hearing in the trades and everything, and all the stories and what's going on social media. Look, just because I'm not in the sports bar right now, that doesn't mean I don't know what's going on. And that was the main reason why I wanted to come into here, guys. I wanted to let you guys know I'm doing okay. I'm still involved as best I can. I got to step back a little bit. But hey, I still follow up with you guys. You're still my family. I'm still going to pop in once in a while. It's all good. And I have a new brother now. Just like that. That's you, King A-Train. Welcome to the family, brother. You're getting a great introduction to this crazy family that you're part of now. And I welcome you with open arms as my brother. And I'd love to work with you and collaborate with you in the future. Who knows? But yeah, you know, just because, you know, things happen and all that stuff, hey, I still got ears. They still work. I still got eyes. I can still see. My voice may sound like crap right now thanks to these doggone stinking allergies that have hit me like crazy. So, but hey, I still know what's going on. And luckily I still got my brain. So, hey.
That's true.
There you go.
Provided no CTE happens. Let's hope.
The only person that would cause any CTE was this guy a few years ago when we were in our wrestling together. He probably dropped me on my head.
I heard about that shit. You guys are out of your fucking mind for that, by the way. Like,
he threw me into a door frame once.
So what you're telling me is
he did. It's true. He threw me into a door frame. I had a knot on my head for 2 weeks.
So what you're telling me is JJ saw that Vine one day. It's like, hey, Mikey, this is how you dive through a piece of shit door.
Basically, yeah.
He told you it's real wood. Crimea River.
He tried to impersonate that coward Marty Jannetty and dive through the barbershop window. Except
God damn it. How dare you, Mikey? You're such a coward. How could you, man?
But yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, it's Swerve, it's Brian, it's Tony, it's Mariah. To a lesser extent, it's even Mercedes and Britt, just because I'm such a big supporter of women's wrestling.
Yeah.
I can't stand Mercedes, but I want to see Britt beat the shit out of her. So kind of looking forward to it for that aspect. What I think would be great is I think back to last year's Wembley, and I think back to, you know, Jericho kind of doing the Queen intro and the Ayo. I think back to, you know, him performing Judas and Saraya getting Queen, We Will Rock You, and all that stuff. I don't know what the odds on something like this would be of happening. And Statboy can't even look this up. It's too far a shot, I think. But I would love to see Run DMC do like a version of Run's house for Swerve, but have it be Swerve's house.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
And then it could go into Big Pressure.
Yeah. Be pretty
but
good.
just have Run and DMC out there doing, you know, like the first verse of Run's house. And then when it gets to the chorus, whose house? Swerve's house. I said, whose house? Swerve's house.
And then you have Europe lead out frickin' Danielson. They perform Final Countdown. That would be nuts.
Dude, I don't know if they could actually get Europe there to perform him out. And if they did, that would have to be his farewell.
Oh, that's fair.
But just to get the rights to have Europe's Final Countdown playing over the speakers at Wembley Stadium in Europe. Like that in of itself is a moment, but I'd love to see that for Swerve. And then the ladder match is going to be a dumpster fire. Ladder matches are always those car wrecks that you really can't, you don't want to watch, but you can't turn away.
Gonna go crazy.
The fact
In
that
London.
Christian is in a ladder match at like 50 years old.
The ring general probably of that fucking carnage.
Yep.
I trust Christian. You know,
I do.
He has the whole patriarchy gimmick. You know, the whole taking children under his wing. Man, I took my little daughter to go meet Christian. I trust Christian back in the day. That was before the gimmick. There is a picture of me, like 2-year-old Natalie and Christian.
So who's the father of the year? That's a genuine question. That's the concern. You might think it's him. I trust Christian too, but my worry is that I don't trust him because of his, the brain damage. That's what I'm worried about.
I bet you Christian is only going to take necessary bumps.
Yeah.
You're not going to see him taking some stupid ass, Jeff Hardy getting speared off the top of the ladder by dangling from a belt type of shit.
They all were stupid. Every last one of them in those TLC matches were stupid. Edge literally got a broken tibia from doing an elbow drop from the top of a cage. What do you mean he's going to take necessary bumps?
My point is, if you think about some of the bumps in those old ladder and TLC matches, and specifically the ones that Jeff would take over any of the others, Christian is going to be smart about a high spot.
I don't know, man.
Edge even admitted he got caught up with the adrenaline for a minute, and then he realized what he was doing was like, nope. Christian, if he gets to that point, if he's feeling it and the adrenaline's kicking in, he'll commit to the bump. And as a result, he probably won't kill himself trying to do it.
That's the hope.
Christian has always been smart about that stuff. Trust and believe. He'll take the bump, but like I said, he won't take that blind whiplash back bump getting speared from dangling, holding on to a belt type of shit like Jeff did. He'll take a calculated bump. Nick Wayne is going to take the sick bumps.
Yeah,
the Gun Club is going to take the sick bumps.
Pac.
Yeah, Pac is going to take. Yuta might take a sick bump.
Dude, a shooting star from the top of the ladder would be.
But I bet you, I would almost be willing to lay down money. Christian, Juice, Claudio are not going to take any kind of sick bumps. They're going to take smart, calculated bumps because they realize how old they are.
Fair.
Take it from a guy that's done ladder matches.
Still waiting. I don't know, man. I feel like Christian might do something crazy. It's a ladder match. Keep in mind.
Depends if they're going to need him to wrestle in 2 weeks at All Out.
That's true.
If he doesn't have to wrestle again, big match till Wrestle Dream, maybe he will. If they're going to need him to defend the trios titles again in 2 weeks, probably not.
Yeah, probably.
That's what you got to look at. Is All Out is literally 2 weeks away.
We'll see there.
What's up, King? Were you raising your hand?
No, I was just saying it was 2 weeks away.
Okay.
I got a question.
What's up?
It's not all in related, but it's AEW. Now that MJF is back as a heel, what the hell do you do when Adam Cole's ready to come back? You just ignore the whole history? Like, it won't make sense anymore, heel versus heel anymore.
This is fair.
Like, are they going to be brothers again, best friends? Like, it's going to be weird now.
It is going to be weird, but I do remember that rumors came out that the whole MJF Adam Cole, like what happened at Double or Nothing, was to put a bow on that for now.
Got it.
Who the fuck knows anymore? I mean, I'm pissed they ended it. I don't think they ever should have. I think there was a lot more mileage left for MJF as a babyface, but
There was, but they needed MJF more as a heel.
Yeah, especially when they lost a lot of their top heels. Yeah.
Yeah, and plus Adam Cole, all we can blame is that jump that Adam Cole did. And that's what started this, downward effect.
I just feel bad for him, man, because he just got some of the worst luck ever.
Yeah, he does. Concussion and then this.
Yeah, he had a foot injury this time, like a freak foot injury.
Not that there's ever a good time to get injured, but he legit was the worst time that the timing sucked on his injury.
Dude, it sucked for the company too. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And I won't be there to be able to break the news that he's come back like I was at the forum. I don't know if King knows that story. When me and Jeff went to the forum for Dynamite, I think it was last year, when they had that trios ladder match, Death Triangle and the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
I was using the facilities and I heard over the security walkie-talkie that somebody big had shown up and they needed to be quietly escorted into the arena. And I was able to put together that it was Adam Cole. James and Noah were doing a watch along of the event. And I was like, we haven't seen Cole for a bit. And then sure enough, Shivani was in the ring. It pains me to have to introduce this guy.
Yep,
You
I
know
remember
it's
that
all
night.
about that boom. I was like, I called it, baby.
They're probably gonna make him best friends again. I mean, who knows? Maybe.
I don't
maybe
think
not.
so. Not the way they've got the Undisputed Kingdom running.
Yeah,
Like
the Undisputed Kingdom
even
is-
though that's on its last legs, I don't think they would put them back together.
Who the hell knows, man? They ruined that shit for sure. Anyway, who
That's
else?
pretty much that's everybody. We all gave our thoughts. We've talked about the stuff that I wanted to talk about. We've addressed the super chats.
Yeah.
So if there's no other super chat comments, then we can just do shills real quick. Everyone can tell the people at home where they can find them so they can follow them on social and we can get out of here.
I will say, I don't even know. Did Mikey have anything else to talk about? Because I feel like there was a whole thing that Mikey wanted to discuss. I forget now.
He basically said his thing, I think.
I basically did. I just want to let everybody know that I'm doing okay. My allergies are acting up. I feel like garbage, but other than that, I'm working, trying to get the car back together. The reason I have ducks in my hand, it's Jeep invasion out here in Sevier County. So ducks and Jeeps, look it up.
Oh yeah, yeah, because that was last year too. I forgot.
Yeah,
dude,
these are Dory's. She got these today, and I'm doing a live reveal. She threw the ducks at me, but I'm just want to let everybody know that I'm doing okay. And just because, like I said, just because Sports Bar is taking a break, all still good in the stat world.
So
I'm looking possibly to. I still want to do the World Series watch along in October if that's still a possibility, and just stay in tune to social media and stuff. And I'll pop in here, and I'll still pop in on Simply Predicting when the schedule allows it. Hey, I'm going to be being kept busy for a while, but I'm good. That's all.
Dude, I remember last year the ducks all over the road was absurd. Like, for those who don't know what the hell goes down on Tennessee, we got a first-hand experience. Literally all those rubber ducks were on the road and they were like running over ducks.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's ducks and Jeeps. So
ducks and Jeeps.
I drive a Jeep.
Yeah, we don't even drive Jeeps and we have ducks in our cars.
Well, there you go.
It's amazing.
Ducks, Jeeps, and whatever you can get your hands on.
Daniel did bring up in the comments about his thing about Shane McMahon, which I did forget to go back to.
Yes.
Oh.
Do we think it's possible Shane McMahon will be at All In tomorrow. I mean,
Ooh.
I guess anything is possible. We did kind of touch on Shane earlier
Yeah.
because we were even talking about Naughty by Nature making him another song.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If I were gonna bring Shane out, I think I would want to do that on a Dynamite as opposed to a pay-per-view that people have to pay to see. Because I think that it would help pop the rating.
I agree, but I think you need the news that Shane's in AEW for it to pop a rating in this case. I think you do need him to appear first and make it official first, and then it will pop the rating. I don't think you can do that as a surprise.
Well, how about you tease it and say, I got a big announcement, actually have a fucking big announcement instead of, it being always bullshit announcements that you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like enough coverage is on the media scrums that if Tony Khan, once the talent has done their shtick, and Tony Khan's just talking to the media, if Tony made a statement about, it's a exciting time at AEW, we've just negotiated a deal with a huge name who's going to make their debut on Dynamite this Wednesday. Matter of fact, they're going to open the show, so you guys want to make sure that you tune in for that. That way you get some of that carryover from the lead-in.
I don't think
You've
that
got
works.
I think it does, though. If you're teasing
right,
a huge name debut at the start of the show, people won't turn away. They'll at least leave it there for the opening to see what it is. You start the show off with Shivani in the ring, and that's how you bring out Shane O'Mac.
I agree. If it was anybody else other than Tony Khan making the announcement, to say that. Because the problem is Tony Khan has made how many big announcements now that have all followed diminishing returns? Remember that whole announcing spree when Punk was gone and he just big announcements. Oh, they dropped for some reason.
Say you got a big announcement and actually let it be a big announcement.
Dude,
but he hasn't had an announcement for a while, so it would
spark. He's kind of toned down from the announcements for a while.
So glad. I don't know, man. I will never forget that time where he said, "I have a big announcement," and then that big announcement was it was an announcement for this week that there's going to be an announcement next week, and that was
oh my God, James, do not bring those up. Oh my God,
that was absurd.
But
fucking
that's why
skipped the fucking.
That's why I'm saying don't say it as it's a big announcement. Just come right out and say we have a huge signing that we just put pen to paper to prior to coming here to the UK for the Dynamite and for All In. That talent will kick off Dynamite this week.
I think.
Then you get a way of saying, Tony Khan has a huge announcement.
Yes, but
that you flat out told the media somebody major is starting Dynamite.
My issue, here's my thing. If they don't have anything crazy to end the show, and they don't have a big brawl between names from a different company fighting against AEW out of nowhere and causing Under Siege to happen, then I'm with you in that regard. However, if they do go that route and somehow WWE names show up and the fuckery was afoot like I've been predicting somehow, then you almost have to have Shane show up and have whatever theme song he's going to come out to, and maybe Here Comes the Money does play over the PA and he's just watching the carnage unfold. If that's a different story, you know what I mean? It really depends on what the hell goes on in Wembley. So, that's my thing.
Arlene sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you, Arlene. Who do you guys have winning between Dom and Liv versus Rhea and Damien? By the way, happy belated birthday. Well, thank you for the birthday greeting, Arlene.
Yes, happy birthday.
I hate to say it, but I say Liv and Dom.
Yep.
I disagree.
Agreed.
I say Liv and Dom because that way you can build to bad blood in the rematch. Make it a stipulation of some kind at a show called Bad Blood. Because there's definitely bad blood between Dom, Liv, and Rhea.
And Damien.
Damien a little bit less. There's definitely bad blood there, but when you factor in the love triangle, there's more between the three than there is the four. Plus, I think there's more bad blood between Finn and Damien than there really is between Dom and Damien.
I still think Dominic made a mistake. Should have done what Tommy Dreamer did with Kimona and Beulah. I'm just saying.
I'm hardcore. I'll take them both.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, Mikey, why do you say Rhea and Damien when the follow-up pay-per-view is literally called Bad Blood?
Because let the bad blood come from Dom and Liv after they lose. They'll be a little more on the evil side because they're the heels. So I'm thinking, I mean, even though, Rhea and Damien are dark and Judgment Day previous, they have a good side to them. Let the bad.
They're the baby faces in this story.
Yeah, let the bad come from Dom and Liv. It'll play out more. Give them a not a cheap victory, but a smart victory to really tick off Liv and Dom.
I don't think Liv and Dom will care though if the other team wins. Once the baby faces win, there's no point in continuing the story. But if the heels get the victory, then the baby facers are gonna want to get their comeuppance.
I say if you want to make them as evil as possible, make them really mad and have them win.
I see. I kind of see where Mikey's going. Like,
I see where he's coming from, but I don't think it makes sense from a logical perspective. The whole point is Liv Morgan in her revenge tour. She already feels like she's won that. She got the guy. She got the title.
And she got
defeated Rhea in the rematch.
Yeah. She took over Judgment Day.
Yeah, she's taken over Judgment Day. She's got nothing left to prove. So if she still wins this because of outside interference, whether it's Finn or JD or what Carlito, then come the next match, we do Hell in a Cell tag team. We're probably already going to have the one Hell in a Cell anyways, do two Hell in a Cells. That way Judgment Day can't get in the cell, supposedly.
Oh, they'll get in. They'll find a way.
And
everybody usually does, but that'll be the attempt there is the cell to keep Judgment Day out. And then Pierce can even do if anyone from the Judgment Day gets into the cell, they'll be suspended. Put some kind of law on the line.
Man, I think Rey Mysterio must be confused with everything going on. He probably doesn't know who to root for.
Right?
He's probably like, well, my son was kind of a dick, but now Liv is also being a dick. And
yeah, I'm with JJ though. You can't have the faces win the first, because then it's like, all right, where do we go from here? Like it's like using the whole dozen of eggs to make your omelet. You don't really need all 12, dude.
I mean, all 12 would be a nice omelet, though. I'm just saying.
Unless you're feeding multiple people.
I am multiple people. Because I'm fat.
Plus, I don't know. Has there ever been a mixed tag team Hell in a Cell match?
I don't think so.
There has.
I don't think so.
No, it would be a first. So that's just my thoughts. Anybody else have a thought on it?
No, but I am hungry though. After I just
Yeah, after you made a comment about the whole all 12 omelet comment.
Now I'm hungry, man. I want
Well,
food.
that's okay, James, because we'll go ahead. We'll start getting to the shills here. Stat Boy, thank you for popping in late as you were. Go ahead and tell people where you can be found. I don't have any of the old graphics. It's kind of simple. So
That's okay. Follow me on social media on the Twitter at LBStatKid1977. Follow me on Instagram at StatBoy13. That's where the majority of stats will go until I come back on into the sports bar, I guess, in some capacity or another. But more than likely, stats as they happen, championships, they'll all go up on social media there. And like I said, I'll pop up on open mic night and simply predicting, watch alongs if I get the day off. Looking forward towards the World Series in October. And, week 1 is just 2 weeks away. The Lions beat the Steelers today. There you go. Great way to start the preseason off. This is the Lions season. I will say it right now. If the Lions do not go to the Super Bowl this year, I'm done I'll jump off their bandwagon so fast. I love you all, Internet family. Thank you for allowing me to come in. The Stat Boy out.
all right, Datilla.
You can follow me on Twitter at @Tatilla_. Talk all things wrestling, WWE, AEW, TNA. I go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, occasional Saturdays and Sundays. For all things TNA, you can check me out on Body Slam every Thursday. And then I know it's all in weekend, but if you're a big Power Rangers fan, it is Power Morphicon weekend. I am covering Power Morphicon. I actually uploaded 3 shorts. One was Walter Jones talking about what it felt like to return to Power Rangers after being away. Jason Fong talking about working with JDF in Legend of the White Dragon, and of course the Cosmic Fury Rangers morphing. So if you want to see that, check out my channel.
Okay, and I have to ask you, give you a little bit of hard time. Have you been watching NXT more regularly with all the Joe Hendry sightings?
No.
I thought you believed in him.
I do believe in Joe Hendry, but that doesn't mean I'm going to watch NXT.
He's literally the number 1 contender for the NXT title.
How could you?
I know he is. I know he is. I know he's the number 1 contender. I know he's going to face Ethan Page at No Mercy. I have my thoughts about that.
That's fair.
We'll get into that at some point this coming week. I'm sure there'll be a Simply Predicting or something for it. I'm going to be curious to see how Noah does Simply Predicting this week with 3 shows ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
TNA Emergence, Bash in Berlin, and No Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
I just figured I'd ask, see if you're watching a little bit more regularly with as much as he's been on the TV.
Nope. Still not watching regularly. It's going to take a lot more to get me to watch NXT regularly.
What if he becomes champion? What if he beats Ethan Page?
As much as I would love for that to happen, I don't think it's going to happen.
But if he does, would you watch it?
I still wouldn't watch NXT. Maybe
if Joe Hendry becomes NXT champion, she still won't watch it regularly.
I'll do it.
I feel like Datilla just wants her Tuesdays, brother.
Right?
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Maybe
That's
Tuesdays are
really
date
all it
night.
is.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
All right. Kane, tell the world where they can find you and tell the world why you do not believe in Joe Hendry.
You're gonna make me say the second part. All right. First off, okay, let's get to the first one. Follow me on Twitter at AMT Roman numeral 23, the number 23. Also, follow me on Instagram. Same thing, but the dot after the Roman numeral and then 23 on Instagram. The reason I do not believe Joe Hendry is he is Fandango 2.0 in a entrance merchant. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being an entrance merchant. He has some of the best entrances of all time.
Name me one then.
Foo Fighters entrance, ICW. Shit rules. I can name you another one. Just let me think. There's also the Joe Hendry took his job. Hendry took his job.
The one way Drew Galloway too.
Yeah. Oh, the Drew Galloway one was hilarious. The Joseph Connors one from WCPW, that was funny. I can keep going.
Please don't.
Joe
No, keep
Hendry
going,
is the
James, keep
Weird
going.
Al of wrestling entrances.
Yeah, man. Joe Hendry's the next Jim Johnson. That much is for true.
Ah!
Wait, what do you mean?
I mean, my
Go ahead.
6-year-old son walks around going, "You are banned from diving." So if my son starts seeing that, I know it's addicting.
It's true. I'm just saying. And he's popular on social media. My friend Matt knows who the fuck Joe Hendry is because he's all over TikTok now. So there is that. What?
James, go ahead and tell people where they can find you.
Yes. You can find me on the socials on YouTube, Twitter, and now Instagram at jhebertsat95 and also on Facebook at James Heb Hebert. I do really cool and dumb things on the internet. Yeah, so go and check out my 2 J Hebert Side of Things podcasts that will be releasing. The next one will be before the All-In Watch Along tomorrow, 9:45 EST. That will be covering my time on Shop the Point, covering YouTube drama stuff, including my buddy Tommy C not getting fucking paid by Daniel Keem. Fuck him. That's all I'll say there. And then if you want to check out the recent one, I did an all-in retrospective for 1 year, how I feel. So if you want to know how I feel and if my shit has changed on my casual viewing of pro wrestling, go check that out. Spoiler, it doesn't, but check it out anyway. Give me the views and likes and comments. It helps
I
the
watched
algorithm.
it today.
It helps the algorithm. So go check that out. My Gary Hebert hockey documentary. Part 1 is coming out. It's actually done, part 1. Believe it or not, he's done. He's ready. It's there.
When does it drop?
It drops either tomorrow or Monday.
Okay.
We're going to see what happens there. But if anybody wants to see preview of shows, you know, it's like fully done. But yeah. That's pretty much it. Go check out the trailers on www.garyhebert.com. There you go.
All right, Walter.
You can follow me on X at Walter Alex Cruz, the at Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel. We are doing the watch along for All In tomorrow, including the 0 hour. So that'll be 10:30 Eastern, which is 7:30 Pacific. Sorry, JJ.
I probably will be sleeping until about 9, but as soon as I wake up, I'll start watching.
Sorry, West Coasters. It's not my fault. Blame Tony and Book in London.
WWE does the same thing, so I can't be pissed at just Tony.
Yeah. It's going to happen next week in Berlin, too. So
Exactly. Thank God Emergence and No Mercy are here stateside. And those are the 2 I'll actually be home for.
Exactly. So just tune in for that and more content on the Rage of Wrestling YouTube channel. And that's it for me.
There you go.
And as far as I go, you can find me on Instagram at the Renegade JJ Williams and on Twitter at ROWJJ Williams. YouTube, of course, it's Casa D18 Studios for my channel. Aside from the Saturday Shenanigans here and the watch-alongs, which will stream on my channel as well, For the Love of Wrestling will return starting Monday, September 2nd. 30 minutes after Raw goes off the air. I will be doing it West Coast time, but I have the East Coast feed. So it'll be about 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 Eastern that I'll be going live for Raw. NXT, same thing, East Coast feed. Dynamite, East Coast feed. TNA, East Coast feed. SmackDown, East Coast feed. Got East Coast feeds for everything, so it'll be about a half hour after they go off the air. The only time I won't be broadcasting is if I work BJ's that night. I'm not going to worry about doing it if I have to watch the West Coast feed of the show, because at that point it's like 2 a.m. East Coast time and I'm trying to go live. and that just isn't worth it to get that little of an audience. So,
Yeah.
but that'll be coming back then. And then as far as the rest of the stuff on my channel, complete revamp overhaul beginning January 1st. I've been watching movies to bring back Renegades reviews. I've been getting some brand new music content shows that I'm going to be debuting. I've got 4 music shows that are going to be starting on the channel. One called Albumversaries, where I review an album on the anniversary of its release. You know, celebrating the 30th, the 25th, the 10th, etc. anniversary of an album. I've got a show called Deep Cuts about songs that weren't singles, just a deep cut on the album. I've got a show called Forbidden Gems, or not forbidden, excuse me, Forgotten Gems, which is a little bit more hip hop oriented, but it's open to all genres. Just songs that were popular, songs that were hits, but just for whatever reason don't get talked about that much anymore. They've long been forgotten. Prime example, I see your hand, Mikey. Prime example, the first episode I'm going to debut is Crisscross's Live and Die for Hip Hop. Released as a single back in 96, last single they put out as a group. People don't talk about it no more. But it had JD's first appearance as a rapper on a track. DeBrad, it had Aaliyah during her transition period before she hooked up with Timbaland and Missy. So a lot of different little intricacies to discuss there. And then I'm going to do a show called This Is the Remix, where I highlight different popular remixes. Yes, Mikey, I saw your hand.
I was going to ask, are you going to do like one-hit wonders as well?
Possibly. I mean, if their songs have been forgotten, then possibly. But there's some one-hit wonders that are talked about more than artists that had multiple hits. You know, in
Cool.
some of their songs. You know what I mean? So
Kick ass.
So I got all that stuff that'll be coming up, and it's pretty much getting all this stuff done. And during the days where I work BJ's, I don't do Uber Eats, so those are my filming days. I do filming before going into work, so trying to get a lot of content logged up for the re-premiere of all that stuff at the beginning of the year. So that is going to about do it for this week's episode of the Saturday Shenanigans. We want to thank all of you guys for joining us and tuning in. 10 of you that are still watching, we greatly appreciate it. Huge shout out to Keen A-Train for joining us here this evening. Second time on the show. Big boo to Noah for sleeping and missing it all.
Oh,
damn it. He's going to kick himself when he goes back and watches this and sees that A-Train was here. But we love you, Noah. I'm sure that you were exhausted, knowing you got church, knowing you got all in tomorrow. Don't worry about it, bro. Like you always say, priorities over passions. So we understand. But
Yes.
we wanted to surprise you, damn it, and you killed the surprise. For the simple man, Noah Foster, for Stat Boy Mike, for Datilla, for Keen A-Train, for the Heb Man James Hebert, for Mr. Reliable, I am the Renegade JJ Williams, saying thank you all for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.
I'm gonna make an omelet. Bum, bum.